times and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground so we can fly again, so we can fly again. Trying hard not to go out of my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground so we can fly again, so we can fly again.
Atomic particles traveling near the speed of light do decay more slowly than stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature. comes down close to the speed of light, special relativity provides us with a means of going to the stars.
Freedom, I never had the chance to run. Leave behind the said and done. Figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe. And I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me.
For what is set to be a cracking night of racing. Back end of the season then. And we have 5 weeks left to go. And it is really hotting up. It's round 15 and round 16. And I'm Mathew Duffin, joined once again in the commentary box by my partner in crime, Dan Davis. Dan, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Mathew. And yourself?
Very good, thank you.
Good.
Here for Hockenheim then, Dan. A very, very classic, historic track. And these boys, I've got to really try and put the pedal to the metal tonight because it's one of them tracks that's very rewarding when it's right, but a lot of risks you can take and get it wrong.
Definitely so. Iconic circuit this is, Hockenheim. Obviously known for being the German Grand Prix, but also being swapped between Hockenheim and Nürburgring, and also a somewhat, I wouldn't say challenging circuit, but definitely a circuit that people tend to love or hate. And I'm not sure yourself, Mathew, but this is a circuit that I don't have much love for, but then again, I don't hate it either.
Yeah, kind of the same feelings on it, really. Kind of don't love it, but don't really hate it. But fond memories of it from last season.
Yeah, definitely so. As for me as well, from a season before as well. So it's definitely a circuit that can reward the ones who put the time in, but also it can bite the people who don't put the effort in either. But we have got an interesting night's worth of racing ahead of us after the back end of Silverstone Classic, and the man that's on a roll after Silverstone Classic is this man.
It is indeed, and what a roll he was on. 2 wins, the London buses, if you will, for Lucas Rothen, who was fantastic last week, was really, really good, and really did prove to us how good he can be. But he's got a job to do because it's helped him in the championship as well here, Dan. It's really boosted his championship confidence and promotion spot chance as well. He's now got to carry on this momentum.
Yeah, of course he does. He needs to keep it going throughout the season now, as we are coming to the final end. It's taken him a while to finally find his groove, but he's left himself much more of a difficult challenge in this championship, as he's right behind one of the other Audis in the championship, which is Smithy. But his main rival to hunt down is this man, Little Leach, and with the experience of being in pro for so long, I think Little Leach will be used to the idea of this pressure.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's facing the pressure of yourself and D. Biggs and others for 4 or 5 seasons. This man will know what to do and will be able to handle the pressure as well. So it will be interesting to see. While we speak of the championship standings do look like this, and it's Little Leach who leads the way, 21 points clear of Lucas Roth. So really has had that gap brought down. But JM Grill as well, he's only 24 points behind. A real good solid week for JM Grill last week as well. He's right in this championship fight as, among with Lucas Roth. Ukbar only 37 back. Bryn, not the best of weeks last week at Silverstone Classic. He's dropped down to P5, 41 points off the back with Welshie P5. Podium for Welshie, fantastic drive for him last week. As for Holty, who's put himself back up to 7th place. Dean Wasocki, bit of a terrible week for him. He's dropped back down to 8th with Smithy in 9th. Stealth Sloth is in 10th place, not yet to the 100 points. Neither is DJ Phil Green in 12th, but he's only 4 points behind Stealth Sloth. We are only awaiting Stealth Sloth to get in. Shane, who seems to be getting stronger and stronger each week, a couple of consistent 6th places for him last week, has put him ahead of that Buzzy boy who returns tonight. And Leon Fernie finally off the mark. Dan, and drivers in that Championship for the drivers' standings. Lucas Roth, JM Grill, Bar, Shane, Welshie and Holty all seem to have good weeks last week.
Yeah, they did. None so more than Lucas Roth, but another man who really needs to kind of get his season back on track is this man, Ukbar. He has had the pace. He has had the car underneath him. It's just that it just never seemed to gone into plan. But also the man currently in the pits as well, Bryn. His season just keeps going from a top of Tozy kind of season. 1 minute he's the man of the season, and now he's struggled the last few weeks, especially at Silverstone Classic, where I just don't think the Audi seemed at its happiest. But the Mercedes was dominant there. But we're at a circuit where any car can be good.
Yep.
I reckon with Sector 1, I'm looking at the Lamborghini for Sector 1 mainly because of the fast, quick right-hander into Turn 1. A little slow section, but the Lamborghini should be able to handle it. Then into the second sector, and again, that should be benefiting the Mercedes-Benz with that grunt. It will have the advantage there. And then back to the Ginetta or possibly the Audi in the final sector. The stadium section is probably where you'll see the best of that car as well. So this circuit really is an all-rounder for all cars here, and it's really all about who can put the best lap together. And I actually reckon the best car for this circuit is probably the Porsche 911 for this track.
Yeah, hard to argue against that, although I will give a shout out to the BMW because that always has looked like it's gone well around here with its traction out the corners. But you're right, Dan, a track here where all three sections favour different cars. The stadium section, like you say, does favour the Audi and the Ginetta. Every car tonight has a chance in different parts of the lap, so your lap isn't done early on because you will come back stronger towards the end of it. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, then it looks like this. Teletubby Motorsport are your third different leaders this season after Super Crash Bros and Pick & Mix. They have a 2-point lead over the Pick & Mix Motorsport boys, with Terminal Velocity Racing sitting in third place, 62 points behind. My Mate Racing are up to fourth. They're 87 off the back, with MC Motorsport 2 points behind them. The Super Crash Bros are exactly 100 points behind Teletubby Motorsport. Obviously, they lost 30 points due to losing Shenron earlier in the season, so that's why they're a bit lower down the standing. They're now getting quicker. My Mate bring up the rear, in which Dean Wisoki's done most of the heavy work, but Leon Fernie had a better... I know he was on his roof and had no reset button race 2, but we saw signs of what Leon Fernie can do in race 1 last week.
Yeah, definitely. So, and again, I think the benefit of being at the Silverstone Classic was definitely a Mercedes circuit, so he was able to shine a little bit more with that. But we're back to a circuit where it's not just all about grunt and power now. We're back to a circuit where you do have to think a little bit, and traction, I think, is the main thing around here at Hockenheim. But nonetheless, it was nice to see Leon Fernie finally up there where he should really be fighting.
Yeah, indeed it was then. So practice session at the moment, 13 minutes left of this, and it's Ukbar currently setting the quickest pace from Lidleach as Leon Fernie's actually had a spin. That is at the stadium section, and he's back on track now. So Ukbar quickest from Lidleach. Shane up in P3 at the moment, so showing some good pace and showing that the Audi has got what it takes at the moment.
Yeah, definitely so. And like I said, the section this car is going to be strong is in the final sector. As Liam's just left the session there, so hopefully he'll get back in. But no, Shane's really improving each race. No matter what round it is, he just seems to excel a little bit more, find a 10th or two, maybe a position or two. So hopefully by the end of the season, he should be at his best. He cross line, he goes P2 now, so he gets within touching distance of Ukbar. The only other man into the 1 minute 40s, and Lidleach not able to match him.
No, he's just got a bit quick though, as Lidleach. He's now 3/10 off the back of him, and JM Grill. But for Shane, that's incredible stuff at the minute, and that's one of the problems with Hockenheim that JM Grill has demonstrated there. As Smithy's up into 5th, so showing how much the chassis part of the track at the end, Dan, really does lose you a lot. Loses or gains you a lot of time. Where this Mercedes and Lamborghini is going to be a bit slower, that might be where they're losing time at the moment. That's where JM Grill, Smithy 5th, Welshie 6th, Holty 7th, Leon Fernie 8th, Lucas Roth 9th, Dean, Phil and Bryn not yet set a lap time. And if you Drigger, evening to Drigger, evening to Mike Matthews, PM Motorsport, Mother Davis, Fury's Grandad, all in the chat. And if you're Dean and DJ Phil, you've not yet got out there. 11 minutes have gone by and you've still not got a lap time in. Bryn, though, does serve a qualifying ban for this first race after his retirement last week.
Yes, he does, and I totally forgot about it, to be honest. I should have remembered that one, but it's been so I've not been able to stick up to date with all the things that have been going on. A bit busy life at the minute, but nonetheless, Bryn will have to carry a qualifying ban for this round. So that's really going to hurt him for this one, but it's not the end of the world. As I proved, obviously, a couple of seasons back in the 911, you can get back to the front of the grid here at Hockenheim, and it's definitely a trap for overtaking. There's multiple places where you can overtake here, and it will offer a great opportunity for Bryn to kind of figure out his night on how he's going to tackle tonight's race.
Yep, indeed, that is the case. Evening to DJ Phil in the chat as well. As Dean Wysocki is now out on track, as you just see him weaving to get his tyres warm in the background there. Bozzy Boy's back in, as well as Stealth Sophius. We have the full grid for Pro-Am tonight, and Ukbar Dan has dipped himself into the 1 minute 39s. So the first man to get into that 39 mark as well. She improves by a little bit, puts himself P6.
Does indeed, and I do like this shot of the cars just coming into the final sector there as Leon Fernie comes to the turn one, but when you see a car in the background, you just hear an Audi just dropped it, I think, and there it is.
Yeah, it's little Leach.
Little Leach.
Yeah.
So the Audis just seem to be struggling here a little bit. They don't seem to be as planted as they want to be, and once again, Shane's improved on his lap time, and yeah, he has actually. He's improved on his lap time. He's got a little bit closer to Ukbar, so Ukbar might have to watch his back here because Shane seems to have pace and it's full fuel.
I was just about to say it's full fuel compared to Ukbar's pace. So Shane, really, wow, could be in the box seat for maybe a race win or at least a podium tonight. He's really got some pace out there. And we speak about him every week, getting stronger and stronger, doing the opposite to what this man seems to do at the moment, who seems to get not be as consistent as what we've spoke about Shane in the past. He's currently behind his last season teammate on track, but he's not yet got a lap time in. We always see this man set a good one lap pace. He's got quali fuel in. So what are we expecting from Dean Wysocki? Dan, car tonight, if you was one of these cars out there on the track, which one do you think's got the upper hand?
In personal preference, I'd be what Welshie and Stelstoff is in tonight. Personal preference, really. But I arguably would say that this car, or the Mercedes, may have just that little bit more grunt where needed, especially in Sector 1 and 2. The final sector, I reckon you'll want the Ginetta, really. But yeah. I think overall, if I was in a car this evening, it would probably be the Lamborghini.
I ask you that question. Obviously, we know my choice because I'm in it tomorrow night. So this is why I ask you this. Yeah, that one, coincidentally. Unless I can change.
After every car on the grids, there's only one other car that I would choose for this type of circuit anyway, which would have been the 911. But if it was the cars that are currently on the grid now, it would be the Lamborghini for me.
Does it make you sad, Dan, being a three-time champion in the 911 and seeing that the 911 has won 5 pro championships here at Simplay Motorsport? Does it sadden you to not see a 911 on the grid?
Yes and no.
Sorry, you've won 2 championships in a Porsche. It's won 4 pro championships. Your other one was a McLaren.
Let the McLaren have its moment.
Yeah.
You know, I know it wasn't the best car, and I know it was a bit of a dog, but it's still a champion nonetheless.
Does it upset you though?
I wouldn't say yes or no, to be honest, because again, myself and Gary managed to make the 911 work at its best. You know. There was no... Oh, God, it's literally just puts it in the wall. He touches that curve.
He's struggling at turn 1 here today.
Yeah, and there's another car off that. Is Stealth's off? No, it's Welshie is off as well. So all these guys just seem to be struggling a little bit. I'm not sad that... Liam's now into the wall. So conditions, is it now getting a bit hot for the soft tyres to work? Are people just testing tyres here and seeing where it leads to? Of course, if this was the real world... most of the mechanics would be absolutely fuming with their drivers because their cars are wrecked. As DJ Phil crosses the line and goes 4 seconds off the pace. But I'm not really sad that the 911 hasn't won a race or championship or been back for a while, as I think it does take a certain driver style to get the 911 to be fast.
Yeah.
It's like I can't make the Mercedes work. I don't like the brakes on the Mercedes, so I would never run the Mercedes myself, but I love the way the Porsche just turns and dances and moves. So for me, I'm not sad. If someone was driving it and it was struggling, then I'd be a bit more upset, but obviously no one can handle the power like me and
I suppose it's nice to give the other cars a chance to win a championship. Obviously, I know the McLaren has now, but it gives another manufacturer, Lamborghini or Mercedes at the minute, in Pro especially, seem to be the 2 cars that are leading the way. The Ferrari's in the top 5 as well. But I suppose it kind of gives another manufacturer a chance to win a championship here.
Yeah, definitely so. I think with the wide variety of cars we have, and obviously with the different type of seasons that we have as well, with a summer season and a winter season, it really does shake up the order. I personally agree that these Audis seem to work a lot better in the summer.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be at their best in the winter. But on the other hand, you've got other cars like possibly the Z4 or maybe the Acura or stuff like that will be a lot better in winter, where they're able to not stress the soft tyres up as much as the other fast cars. But again, the all-rounder of the Porsche 911, the Lamborghini, and possibly the Mercedes as well, are all good choices throughout the season, whatever season is ahead.
He's gone again.
Once again.
Turn one. Well, we'll have to keep our eyes on this because this looks fascinating. Leon Fernie's got back in, so don't worry as to why. And that Bozzy Boy got in late as well, don't forget, because of disconnection. So don't worry why they're ghosting. That will sort itself out in practice. But Leon Fernie, that Bozzy Boy, they've come in late. And Dean Wysocki not yet got a timing. Dean's been in since the start, still not got a timing on the board yet then. And Little Leach just struggling on the curbs. Lucas Roth has moved himself up into P3 at the minute. 8 tenths off the back of Ukbar, but he's currently now back into the pits. So he's now into the 140s as well. And we've got a nice to see a new comment in the chat, Dan, from Richie. JM Grill, no excuses. You've sent you my setup. Concentrate, please. You still have 3 seconds in your pocket. Come on, man. Nice to see Richie here. Great to see you come over. Obviously, for those of you who know Richie from Motive Racing, very fast driver himself. And Dan, it's great to see him in the chat, and clearly a bit of coaching for JM Grill then, saying that he's got an extra 3 seconds in his pocket. Well, that'll put him clear P1.
Wow, we definitely know JM Grill has got the talent under his hands. Let's have a look at JM Grill. Where is he? He's the French 71-year-old. He's got the talent, he's got the speed, and our oldest driver on the grid, and what a performance this man has been putting on this season. He really has been, I think, the more consistent driver of the season. He's just always there or thereabouts at every single round. No matter what circuit it is, he is there. I'm a coach from Richie. I know Richie from many other leagues as well, and Richie is, I would love to say you're more than welcome to join Pro-Am, but I would definitely say that this would be a category that he'd be in the 37s, I reckon. Well, so
if that's his pace, Richie, set up, please, if you don't mind.
I've seen the guy race. I've seen him race some of the best guys that we've had, like BT Tiger, Ukbar, and a couple others as well. He is top level GT driver, and I really do hope that Richie's able to either sign up for next season or possibly do any of the other championships as well. But it's nice to see him in the chat, nice to see him supporting our channel as well, and it's good to see that he's supporting JM Grill as well, who this man is, I think he's just won the hearts of our fans anyway for being the oldest guy on the grid and still delivering the pace that he does. And
you're right in what you say. He's kind of having a bit of a Smoky Devil season from last year, where he's always hovering around that podium spot. If he's not on the podium, he's 4th or 5th. But he's always sort of 3rd or 2nd. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like Smoky Devil did last season to myself and Plava or Ben Parkin Laney when they was there. He's kind of having one of them seasons, isn't he? He's right in a promotion spot because of how consistent he's been.
Yeah, definitely so. It has a little spin there. But these are all the little teething problems. Like if you see them practice and qualify and that things don't quite go right, this is where the drivers are now learning. Right, this doesn't work here. I can't take that corner in that gear. Every little bit now is worth noting. Even the pit entry is one of the important things that no other drivers tend to do that often, is just test the pit entry. Learn where you brake in. Learn where the white line is, because after Bruno, white line, crossing the white line on the pit exit will be tolerized here. And if we go on board with, as we go on board with JM Grill, we come into the final corner, and the pit exit is long, but that line is just as long as well, and you can't cross it. If you cross that pit line, you will get a penalty for it.
You are done for.
It's all the way down, halfway down this little straight here, and then back into turn 2 we go. So if that crosses that white line, drivers will get penalised. And
it was Zolder where we saw a lot of penalties, not just in Pro-Am, but in Pro as well, Dan. You said Bruno. Zolder where we saw a lot of penalties, Dan, both leagues, both divisions, getting a lot of penalties. Razor-thin margins, I could say, for certain drivers in terms of the white line. But a lot of penalties there for the... Well, based off the picture you sent me, yes. There wasn't a lot more room I could have given that white line. But But a lot of penalties at Zolder, because it's one of them where it comes out on the corner and you just kind of just go over it if you're not cautious enough. The bonus with this one is it's a bit more of a sharper corner coming out the pit lane, so you can be a bit more wary about it. Looking at the timing screens, though, Ukbar currently still your fastest man. Shane in the pits, Dean in the pits, Welsh in the pits. Dean's gone up to P7, so that's good to see. Smithy just come out the pits, and there we go. Look nice and steady from Smithy.
But you see what I mean? On pit exit, as the car comes, ooh, careful, Smithy. Even though you drifted back on track, you still got to obey to that white line. As he comes out of the pits, the pit lane, I'm just hoping to get another driver to come out of the pits. As I sounded like car leaving the pits, no. But as you exit the pits, it looks like a very sharp corner, and the car isn't going to make it. So they have to be very cautious on pit exit for sure.
Yeah, they've got to be.
If I do see them crossing that white line, they will be getting that penalty, and I think the car is now leaving the pits. It is Holty. So again, look, as you come to the pit exit line, it's very quick to the right. It's very easy to run wide here, and it's a very tight wall as well. And Holty done a lovely job of just slowly coming out the pits to show me exactly what we're looking at.
Yeah, great demonstration there from Holty as he slows down and actually goes back into the pit lane. So if he was listening and just did that for a demonstration for us, well then thank you very much. As the session, Dan, is over. This man will be the last man to cross the line on his lap, but he doesn't really need it because he's already the fastest. And Plover, in this track, I learned the hard way that you have to practice the pit lane, he says in that one. And Plover, this is his circuit, if we don't forget. Obviously, the driver's got to pick the circuit, and it was picked out by a bingo ball machine. Obviously, we're looking to do it a bit different for season 7 and go a different way, but this is Emplava's track and Emplava's circuit that he selected and got picked. And practicing the pit lane, and it is a tough entry, Dan, as well. Let's not forget the pit entry here is you come down the hill, you brake for what is pretty much a double right-hander, 1 into 2 sort of thing, and in the middle of that double right-hander is the entrance to the pit lane. The problem is you're kind of getting that car to come round here, look, and you've got to slow it down while there's other cars around you to get it into the pit. So it is a tricky pit entrance.
That's, again, literally just struggling with his car here as he goes back to the pit. And yeah, it is a tricky pit entry as Ukbar coming into the final sector now. It's obviously, like you said, double right-hander, easy to just misjudge it. And the problem is the car behind doesn't know if you're coming in or not. So it's you really do have to time it correctly.
Yeah.
As Ukbar will come across the line and he will end the session fastest of all, and the Ginetta at the top of the table as per usual. But Ukbar looking like he's in the flow here. But Shane, what a performance in practice already. What
a lap from Shane already in this practice session, and it's just showing what Shane can do at this moment in time. As we say good evening to Dean Wasaki, who says hello everyone in the chat. 29 people watching the stream, 14 thumbs up. So please hit that thumbs up button, hit the bell to be notified, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new, as we are, Dan, away for qualifying, and everybody bar Bryn can qualify here. Track position on this track could be key. We've gone from Silverstone Classic, where a slipstream could be beneficial, to a track where you want a lot of space.
Yeah, let's have a quick run through the order. Lucas Roth currently out on track first, with Welshie right behind him. The stealth, the Scottish duo who took the double podium, father-son duo, leading the way out of the pit set for Hockenheim here. Then it is Stealth Sloth behind them. I think that might be Little Leach. It is a Little Leach behind him. Who have we got next? It looks like DJ Phil. Sounds like our Audi has just gone past. It is, and I believe
that's Shane.
Shane. So Shane will be next. DJ Phil behind him, with Smithy just behind Dean as well. Liam currently still in the pits, with Leon Fernie bringing up the rear of Dean. There is a Leon Fernie, and I believe it might possibly be Ukbar next. It is. Holty's just leaving the pits, and we're still waiting for JM Grill and that Buzzy Boy to exit the pits. But it will be your winner from the last 2 rounds, Lucas Roth.
I think that was Dean Wasaki, who's had a spin out the hairpin, but it will be Lucas Roth who leads the way. The 2 teammates of JM Grill and that Buzzy Boy still in the pit lane. Very interesting call here then, as let's go on board a lap of the Hockenheim, or the Hockenheim Ring as Project Cars calls it. Let's go on a lap of Lucas Roth and see what he can do. The timing screen is loaded next to me. I actually found, Dan, funny thing this. I said last season, the Acura will be better in that final sector, where I was struggling, I actually prefer that last sector in the Mercedes than in the Cora last season, which I find very bizarre.
Possibly too much downforce on the Cora, making it more difficult for it to handle, as it is a slow section of track. While this more the fast corners, the downforce will do more work, as downforce is generated by the air, and obviously more higher speed corners, the downforce comes into more effects. You have more higher speed. When a low speed corners, downforce doesn't genuinely tend to work as well. So really in the final sector, it's more about mechanical grip rather than downforce. If you've got a nice mechanical grip on the Mercedes, then you will be looking at a good chance of a good sector, but not necessarily having to carry all that downforce with it.
Yeah, someone who's not looking at a good sector was Keegs there, as he got the hairpin horribly wrong, and through this little section he comes, as Dean's gone back into the pit lane. Buzzy Boy's still in the pit. JM Grill has come out the pits finally. 7 minutes have ticked by. And what can these lads do in qualifying? So far, the purple sector hasn't flashed up on my phone, meaning that nobody's taken a quickie sector. It might still be registering the quickie sector from practice 1 and not realising that this is a new session. So for Lucas Roth then, he's got a chance now to be the first man to set the benchmark. And he was third in practice. Can he get onto that front row and carry on that momentum of what he's got at the minute in these GT3s? Good evening to Monkey Boy in the chat as well. Very good evening to you. As here comes Lucas Roth then to set the benchmark lap. What will it be for him as he comes to the line? A 1:40.2. That is a good qualifying lap. Welshie was the next car to cross the line. He then a 42.3. Little each a 40.6. They're not far off the back. What can Stealth Sloth do in the background? He crosses it for a 43.2. Shane's in the background. He currently goes third fastest with James Grill on a lap at the moment in time. DJ fell out the final corner. He only goes P4 at the moment, splitting the Shane and Welshie. Smithy to the line now. Any improvement? Oh, well, it is going to be an improvement because it's going to be his lap time. Down in 7th place, so a little off the back is Smithy at the moment. In the background is Ukbar then. What are we expecting from this man early doors? Keeg set the pace of a 40.2 and Ukbar opens it up and says a 40.0, near 2/10 quicker than Keegs. As Holty comes through, it's Leon Fernie next to the line. He crosses it and sets a 45.4. Holty will be next then, I think followed
by Dean,
By Dean, yeah, but I do believe Dean might be on an outlap as he pitted. As Lidley, she's actually just gone purple sector 1 on my timing screen. Holty to the line now goes P3. As here comes Dean, might put a time on the board, but it won't be a representative time at the moment as he crosses the line now and doesn't put a time on the board. So it was a outlap for Dean Wasocki though. But what he does want to know is it was the fastest sector 3 time out of anybody, so nailed it.
Yeah, definitely so. Next man to keep an eye on is Lucas Roth. He's currently a 2/10 off the fastest set by Ukbar, but Little Leach is on a faster lap. So we keep an eye on Little Leach and his sector times.
Ukbar's just gone purple sector 1. Sorry, Dan.
Yep, Ukbar is improving out there. And that's the man who set the light on fire in the start of practice. But here is Lucas Roth, the race winner.
Wow.
Last out time out, and he goes to a 39.7. But Ukbar is getting quicker.
Little each to the line as well. He finds 0.4 of a second and goes in front of Holty as well. She doesn't improve. What about Shane in the background then? We saw his pace in qualifying. Finds 0.8 and puts it ahead of Ukbar and Little Each and says, come on then. I've raised the bar now. Who's going to come to me? What will Ukbar do then? James Grill across the line. He's only gone P9. Phil doesn't improve on his 6th place. I think that was Smithy in the background coming to the line. Yes, it was. Currently 10th. He's improved by 0.4. Goes up to P9. Now, here comes Ukbar. Looking for an improved lap to go P1. No, not enough in the second and final sector, but enough to go ahead of Shane. It's a front row start at the moment.
It is a front row start for him, as I'm not sure what car that is in between Holty and it's JM Grill. So it's Leon Fernie has improved, and Holty now, can he improve on his lap time as he comes through the final sector and across the line? He does not. He missed out by 14 thousandths of a second to match his best. But all the guys are now putting a lap time in together, bar that Buzzy Boy who's decided not to set a lap time at this stage.
Yeah, is this a tactic from that Buzzy Boy to maybe start towards the back of the pack as Dean Wasocki crosses the line? And it's not a great lap from Dean. Normally we see Dean up there in the qualifying, but we didn't in this one at the moment. But this man, Dan, so far, is taking the fight to Ukbar in this session, but Shane and Little Each only half a second off the back as well. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic qualifying session as here comes Lucas Roth once more. Good evening to the Overtaker and Monkey Boy in the chat. Lucas Roth to the line and improves by another 4/10. He's half a second clear of Ukbar and returns to the pits. Now then, Shane, what can you do?
Come on, Shane, what have you got left?
Oh.
He just touches the gravel. That's enough to unsettle the car, but if he's found time, he's lost it all there. JM Grill looks like to be the next man. He said that Richie's been helping him out. He crosses the line and only goes 8th fastest. Vestel Sloth crossing the line and not improving his lap time. All these guys now trying to find little improvements. People are dropping it as that Buzzy Boy has come out and he's dropped it straight away. I'm not sure who the next car is. It's Ukbar.
Oh, improves.
A bit more time, but not enough.
Needs to find more time than that, though, as Lucas Roth has come back out the pits to do another lap. Little Leach and Holtier sat in the pit lane. 2 minutes 15 left. Time is running out. And drivers need to find some more time. Lucas Roth right in front of Shane. Stays very, very wide there. That might be to give Shane the better run through the corner. And to stay out the way of the driver on the fast lap. Smithy and Holty still in the pits. Leon Fernie's now coming to the line. What can Leon Fernie do? Down in P11, and he's on a 144.2. And I don't think improved there. DJ Phil, P6 at the minute. The Genetta going great at the moment. DJ Phil, great quali lap time.
Yeah, definitely is. At the minute,
Shane's just gone purple middle sector. Just as you say that, he's gone purple middle sector, Dan, and was green sector 1. This man, he's really making a case tonight, isn't he?
I really hope he's not watching the stream and listening to us right now. He just needs to get the final sector nice and tidy. Middle sector is fastest. He's coming into the final sector now. He's just taking his time, short shifting if need be. The final corner is very struggled last time out. Is Shane going to take pole position here? He's got Lucas Roth right behind him.
Oh!
Not quite enough.
But he's put Ukbar down to P3, Dan, and he's putting the pressure on Lucas Roth, who's right behind him.
Yeah, Grill's just improved.
He has. He's gone to P5, and 0.8 of a second separating Little Each to Lucas Roth. But Shane, what a outstanding lap. Absolutely fantastic. He's got Lucas Roth on the back of him. Where is Ukbar?
Ukbar is in the pits.
He's pitted.
Ukbar's done.
He's finished. He will not improve on his time, so Ukbar third, provisionally. Leon Fernie's had a spin. Dean struggling. Down in 12th at the moment. That Bozzy Boy's just started his first flying lap. Dan, Ukbar's pitted. He was purple sector 1 and 2. He must have dropped it.
That's going to be a mistake that he's really going to hope that doesn't pay him off here, because at the minute everyone seems to be improving their lap times, but this man is the man at the moment. But I think he ain't going to improve this lap, as he let Lucas Roth. No, Lucas Roth is still behind him, so it's going to be interesting. These last couple of laps, we're down to the last 3 seconds here. I don't think that Audi's going to get a lap time, and Smithy is done.
Smithy is done. Leon Fernie's just got a grid penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Dean Wasocki down in 12th. How many times can you say that in the pits? So he's done. He's not normally a low qualifier, but he is now. Welshie will be the next man to cross the line. Currently down in P8.
Currently down in P8, but probably going to be chaos in turn 1. So Welsh, you want to get as high as he possibly can and towards the line. He doesn't improve. Shane and Lucas Roth, the two sharing the front row at the minute. Does Shane improve? No.
No, but Lucas Roth does. So he keeps that pole position. But you have to take your hats off to Shane there. What a qualifying for that front row. But that, Dan, more importantly for Little Each, is an extra point at the moment for Keegs going into the race. It'll be 20-odd points. It'll be down to 20 points, I think, that separate the pair of them. That Bozzy Boy, one flying lap, goes P7. Not a bad lap time from him. But Dan, Shane, the qualifier there, really, you have to say, him and Lucas Roth have outdone Ukbar. Little Each last time to put a spanner in the works. And can't do so. He does improve, but stays P4.
Wow, what a qualifying session that was. We're just waiting on DJ Phil. But Shane, man of the moment. That Audi looking very, very strong here at Hockenheim.
Indeed, it is then. Dan, talk us through the grid while I input the results.
Well, after the sublime round at Silverstone Classic, it is Lucas Roth who takes pole position once again here at Simplay Motorsport GT3 Pro-Am Championship. In second place is Shane, his best qualifying of the season, and what a start to the night for him. He's going to be really happy with that one. With Ukbar currently in a solid P3, with Little Each in P4. P5 once again up there in the mix is JM Grill, but sharing the grid, sharing that row will be Holty and his teammate on the front row, looking like he can try and help his teammate out as best he can. But that Bozzy Boy starting in 7th, DJ Phil will start in 8th. Well, she with 9th, probably wish he had a bit more performance than that, but 9th the best he could do. With 10th with Stealth Soft, right next to his teammate on the grid. Smithy in 11th, Leon Fernie in 12th. Dean would not be happy with 13th place, and Bryn, with a qualifying bad, will start at the back of the grid. But Dean actually will gain a place as Leon Fernie has got a grid penalty.
Indeed, he has then. Dan, so last preparations. Make sure you got the race fuel in and everything to get it sorted. As here we go in this one. Who's your tip for the win?
I hate it when you ask me this, Matt, because it's always a very tricky one to pick out. But for the win, I'm going to say Lucas Roth. The man I want to win is Shane.
But you think Lucas Roth?
I think Lucas Roth might have enough in hand.
I'm going to go Ukbar. But again, I'd really like Shane to win. Because I think that'd be absolutely fantastic. Poll got up. Will you ever do an Xbox League? We'll have to wait and see about that one in terms of an Xbox League. PC might be coming sooner before Xbox, but we'll have to wait and see. That, though, is Lucas Roth's 4th pole position here at Simplay Motorsport. 3 of them have came this season. That is also the Mercedes-Benz 53rd Pro-Am pole position and its 70th pole position overall this season. But what it does do, Dan, is it puts 20 points between himself and Little Leach. And Little Leach starts on the 2nd row, Lucas Roth on the 1st row. Game on, really.
Yeah, definitely. So all the championship contenders right at the front and ready to do this. Bar Bryn, obviously, with that qualifying ban. But turn 1's going to be very interesting for sure, Matt, as we are finally synced up here. And we're about to get underway as Keegs has a flash of the lights there.
Yeah, he has a flash of the lights. And we are getting ready. The lights come on now. It's green and go for the first time here, and a great start in the background by Dean Wisocki and by that Bozzy Boy. I think one of the Audis got away well as well. Ukbar settle into 3rd place, as does Shane into 2nd place, and Lucas Roth gets it off the line and does exactly what he needs to do, as everybody looks like they're through turn 1 relatively unscathed. Bryn has made 2 places up on the Get In Quicker My Mate team as Dean drops behind Leon Fernie, and that is Holty, who's had a spin and kind of just pushing that Bozzy Boy's car as he's sort of spinning back onto the track. Everybody through, though, relatively clean, and the top 3 are already away.
Yeah, the top 3 would have wanted getaway nice and clean, and Shane isn't actually too far behind Lucas Roth right now. And to be fair, everyone getting away relatively well, bar Leon Fernie. He's had a moment. DJ Phil, Dean with him as well, but it is this man, Lucas Roth, who leads away, but Shane is right there. He is right with the championship contender, and Shane's got nothing to lose.
He has got nothing to lose, but everything to gain, and he's right on the back of Lucas Roth. It's down towards Smithy with Bryn on the back of him. Bryn's made up 4 places already in this race, so Bryn on a bit of a charge and having a look towards Smithy. A lot of curb there from Smithy, and that will not help him as well. She right on the back of Holty, you can see a little closer up as well. And that is Bozzy Boy in the mid-pack around. His teammate has to avoid him, and he's doing exactly... Oh, Dean's gone round. Dean, has he kept it together? I think Dean's kept it together, and Liam safely back on track, but this man is really putting the pressure on Lucas Roth.
How's your nerves, Keegs? Because the Audi of Shane is hunting you down. And you can just hear Lucas Roth really revving that engine here. And the pit window is end of lap 5, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
So these guys got a long way yet to go before the pit window is open. But Ukbar not able to stick with them, nor Lil Leach. But Lil Leach is struggling with turn 1 here.
The pace from the front... Sorry, go on.
Sorry, not Stealth Soft, but Welshie right now, the cook in the bottle. He's holding a few drivers up.
Leon Fernie has retired from this race, Dan.
Already, Leon Fernie dropping out this one after a great run-in at Silverstone. Leon Fernie with a retirement, not what he wants here. He will have to carry a qualifying ban into the next round, which I believe is Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno, which we don't talk about.
We don't talk about Bruno, no. We got another off. I think that's Dean Wasaki's off again. No, it's that Bozzy Boy.
Oh, no, it's Bozzy Boy. Yeah, Dean's got past him, but that Bozzy Boy struggling at turn 1. Has he caught the outside curb? Not too sure. But I tell you what, Dan, the pace from the top 2 is electric at the minute, sticking together, and they are dropping Ukbar and Little each here.
They are at the minute, but is that because they're running soft tyres? Are the tyres just getting into the right window, or the guys behind on the hard. Shane here just missing his brakes there, and just a little bit of a wheel spin. He's pushing this Audi as best he possibly can. He really does need to be careful though. It's good points here at this stage.
Like you say, nothing to lose, everything to gain, as his teammate Bryn, who's made up 5 places now on the first 2 laps. So a good start for Bryn, just patiently waiting behind Smithy and going about it in the right way. And Plava in the chat, something familiar about this, except it's a Merc, not an Acura, that the Audi's staring at the back of. And here comes Bryn, looking at the stadium section as Smithy just defends his car. Bryn has a little late lunge and Smithy just gives him the room. Bit of a tap from Bryn though. There was a gap and Bryn tried to go for it, but it kind of disappeared very quickly. Shane, though, just dropped back a little bit this lap to Lucas Roth. Wheel stopped working for some reason, says Leon Fernie. So that's the reason he's had to retire. As Ukbot and Little Each, 2 seconds off the leaders already. And look at the lead pace from the front 3. 40.2, 40.3 and a 40.5. Little Each will be left in the dust at the moment.
It will be indeed. And
Bozzy.
Bozzy boy struggling again. As once again, Shane is just not allowing Geeks to have that comfort zone that he would want. Right now, he's able to just dap Ukba, but he just can't seem to shift the Audi of Shane right now.
He just can't seem to shift the Audi of Shane at all. Lucas Roth, and like you say, he seems to gap him early doors, Dan, but Shane pulls it back in that middle to final sector is where Shane seems to be at his strongest. But if Keegs is on them hard tyres, they may just start to come to him, and we'll have to see who does what in this race. Smithy has just gapped Bryn a little bit. I say that as Bryn really closes in under the braking at the hairpin corner there then. As here he comes down towards the quick right-hander. Bryn on board his teammate, pressuring the Mercedes out front. He's trying to pressure Smithy. Both in the Audi, Smithy in the normal one, Bryn in the Endurance. And Smithy goes a little deep. Bryn's cautious there as he saw Smithy have a little wiggle. And Charlie Norcourt in the chat, Shane's on fire tonight. He absolutely is. And Bryn round the outside of Smithy, job done. That is P8 as there's just now a bit of a gap forming between the two. Ukbar, big wiggle.
Big moment there. Little Leach will enjoy seeing that one because he can get a little bit closer. JM Grill right in the middle of no man's land at the minute. Best of the rest from the top 4. Holty just sticking to the back of him with Welshie also not far off their pace either. And they're just gapping Smithy, and Bryn is still trying to find a way past as he's lost that position to Smithy once again. So Bryn has dropped back. DJ Phil not far off the back of them, with Dean bringing up the rear of the order, and that Bozzy boy once again struggling
yeah.
Here.
Really seeming to be struggling tonight is that Bozzy boy, as Shane has really close to the back of Keegs. Once again, got the gap back to under a second, and these two are 2.5 seconds plus ahead of Ukbar. Shane up on his delta through sector 1. So that is promising to see. Welshie seems to be staring at the back of Holty for some time here as well. Some good battles up and down the grid tonight. But what I'm enjoying about this, Dan, is there seems to be a lot of patient driving here. PM Motorsport in the chat, 14 subscribers away from 300. So guys, girls, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do.
Yeah, please do, guys. Hit that subscribe button and get involved here at Simplay Motorsport. Head over to the Facebook page, like the page, and also sign up to the Discord as well. I'm pretty sure Matt finally updated the Discord. Just a little loose there. May have lost him some time, but you can just see the inner driver in him wanting to chase that car down. But he done the best thing there and just released off the throttle, grabbed the brake, and allowed him to just get the car straightened back up. And now we can try and hunt down Lucas Roth. But I'm very impressed by the Pro-Am boys at the minute. It's relatively clean, relatively fair racing. And after a couple of people getting into the stewards' room and having a bit of a little bit of a telling off, they've all started to behave themselves.
With you saying that it's clean, I've just realised what that means for tomorrow night.
Yep, whenever Pro-Am is clean. We're not done just yet.
Whenever
Pro-Am is clean, Pro tends to be a nightmare as we now go on to lap 5. And in the end of lap 5, these guys can pit.
And
not
Dan,
the leader, their lap.
Dan, look at Shane's time there. He had a bit of a wiggle mid-corner in the middle sector, still in the 1:40s. The guy is on fire at the moment, really lapping well. They're dropping Lidley. In fact, what's happened to Ukbar? There he is. He's slow. He moves out the way. I'm just about to say that he's lapping the same pace as Shane, and then all of a sudden Little Each went above him. He's had an off somewhere. He's had a huge off.
He's had a big moment. He's probably touched that curb. Does the car look damaged? Doesn't look so. Maybe a little crumpled on the bumper. But he just makes contact with Bryn there, and Bryn manages to get his way through. But yeah, Ukbar big mistake there, as Little Leach now is in third place position and just doesn't have an answer for the top two.
He doesn't have an answer for the top two. He is 5 seconds off the back of Shane, who's just dropping further back off of Lucas Roth, but sticking with it. Max Mulder in the chat. Tomorrow making my debut in the Pro with Sneaker Racing Team. Can't wait to see that one out on track. Welchie staring at the back of Haltier, and after his great podium in race 2 at Silverstone Classic last week, he'll be hoping for another one here as Bryn has finally cleared the Audi of Smithy, but Smithy's going to try and come back to him. Bryn goes to defend then, makes his one manoeuvre, comes back across a little bit, gives Smithy enough room, but made the corner too tight. Luckily though, carries the momentum well and can now stay ahead of Smithy for the time being.
Yeah, this is all going to be helping Ugbar out. He will be able to get onto the back of these guys, but also this man's on an attack now. He's caught onto the back of Little Leach. There's fights happening all left, right and centre, but these two having a cracking fight. Oh, too much curve there from Welshie, making the car feel a little bit loose. But JM Grill now is bringing the gap down to Little Leach.
Yeah, there's also...
definitely be happy with that one.
There's also a gap down at the back of the track. Dean Wysocki to Stove Slough as that Bozzy Boy being lapped and parking it on the outside, just staying out the way. That is nice to see that he's respecting the blue flags and letting everybody go through, as he clearly knows he's struggling tonight. As Ukbar then, Dan, the first one in the pits.
Man, straight to... Oh, he nearly gets it wrong there. And Ukbar gets the pit stop done. Hopefully he hasn't got too much damage, but he is going to try and save some time there. But Shane is bringing that gap down ever so slowly again. He just needs to get back into a groove.
He does.
James Grill has actually lost time here. He hasn't been able to sneak onto the back of Little Leach. By the looks of things, Little Leach had a very poor lap last lap, a 43.2.
43.2, very poor lap. Jeremy Grill lapping the same sort of pace as the leaders as well into the 1 minute 40s. So he is going great guns at the minute. As here is Stove Slough just ahead of Dean Wysocki. There you see Dean. Liam once again still stationary. Is he just making some alterations as he gets going now? I wonder if he's just managed to sort of change. Oh, he's off again. He's struggling out there, Liam, tonight. Obviously, a different wheel. It's a different feel and trying to get a few things working for him, but it's not going the way he wanted. It's probably just about learning again and scoring some points. Either way, this man... Oh, no! 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 Was just about to say he had the gap under a second, and Smithy loses the rear on the curb and has lost a lot of time to Lucas Roth, Dan. You'd be bringing it in, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely so. I'd be telling Bryn now, I'm coming in, I've dropped it, and I would assume Shane's coming in. No, he's going to stick it out, I think. He's staying out. So Shane, obviously, don't think he's carried too much damage, but luckily he hit the wall quite square on, so he shouldn't actually gain too much damage. Little Leach in third, JM Grill staying out, Holty staying out, as also Welshie.
We said about Ukbar not looking like he had too much damage. He's just been lapped. So he must have had some horrendous damage on that car, because he's just been lapped by Welshie nearly. So that's all the way down in P6. So, what's happened to Smithy? Yeah, huge damage. So he'll be in, we'd imagine, this lap. Dean's got back out of Stove Slough and has got to kind of be a bit patient here. Smithy stays on the grass. That's probably the best thing to do. So we imagine Smithy will be in, but Ukbar must have had, Dan, more damage than what we expected.
Yeah, possibly so, as Smithy gets it into the pits. The reason I was thinking of Holty is he's on the back of Ukbar, who's trying to unlap himself on JM Grill here.
Oh, no! That's not what you want to see! He's on his roof!
Ukbar's on his roof and he's hit the reset button. Obviously had to do so, which will be allowed because he was stuck on his roof, but he really didn't need to be in that moment with JM Grill.
No, he didn't need to be involved in that one, and unfortunately he's cost JM Grill some time to Little Leach. It's also cost Welshie a lot of time to Holty by being on his roof where he was. He's sadly going to have to pit again here, so for that Bozzy Boy, who's coming to the pits himself, it's not over yet for points.
As Holty had a moment, he looks like he's got a little bit of damage to the front.
Did Holty hit Ukbar then over? Is that what happened?
Possibly so. We'll have to look into that. But Smithy finally, hopefully getting away and going. But that Bozzy Boy also into the pits. So definitely not the run for these two would have wanted so far.
Oh, Bozzy's missed his pit box as well. So to make matters worse, he's missed his pit box. Holty comes in at the end of lap 7. I imagine Ukbar's going to be back into the pits as well. But these two out front, once again, just steadily calming the ship. And say Shane adds that off, Dan, 3 times quicker than Lucas Roth on the last lap, and slowly, once again, just chipping away at the gap.
I think Keegs is pacing himself here. I just think he's just keeping himself cool, calm and collected as well. She also pits. But I think that he knows the car behind him is a car that's not fighting for the championship. So if Shane does try anything, then Keys can basically adjust his driving style to suit that. As also, I believe Ugbar's back in the pits once again.
He is.
Holty off and away again.
Well, she's jumped him. She's jumped Holty in the pit lane there. Dan Dean Wasocki has came into the pits as well. So pitting earlier this week for Dean. Welshie, though, has jumped Holty in the pit lane. So clearly a bit more damage for Holty in the pits. Welshie's then got the jump on him, and Lucas Roth now 4 seconds ahead of Shane at the moment. When will Shane pit? I tell you what, good drive from Bryn at the moment from the back of the pack. He's up to P5.
Yeah, like I said, you can overtake here at Hockenheim, and Bryn just slowly making his way through the pack. And at this precise minute, he is looking good to score some decent points. But at this minute, with 14 cars started, top 7 won't qualify, and he's in that top 7 right now. So that's going to probably hinder him later on as Lucas Roth is coming into the pits. Will Shane now lead this race? That is the question.
Yes, he will.
Lead this race here at Simplay Motorsport.
So for the first time in his sim racing career and here at Simplay Motorsport, Shane will lead a race, and his teammates already took a race win this year. Can Shane? That's the big question. There's a car just exiting the pits. I think that was that Bozzy Boy just coming out of the pit lane. Lucas Roth now in. It was that Bozzy Boy, so out he comes. He's got some places to make and just some learning to do as he'll be able to qualify for race 2. Top 7, like Dan says, can't qualify. Lucas Roth, decent stop that seemed to be, as Bryn at the end of lap 8, he comes in as well. So with Shane not pitting, perfect time for Bryn, really.
Yeah, it is indeed, as DJ Phil coming into the final sector now. Welshie and Holty both pitted. Stelsloff is still yet to pit. Smithy has pitted as well. So just trying to keep up to date with who has or hasn't pitted.
From what I've got, Shane,
Little Leach, Phil, Stelsloff and Shane.
Yep, that's exactly what I've got.
Shane right now still leading this race at this stage, but we've only now just come up to lap 9 here. Still 10 to go here at Hockenheim, and Shane leads this race. The question is, has Lucas Roth has dropped himself in a nice gap? He's got a couple of lapped cars in front of him, so Shane could go long here as that Potty Boy just avoids an incident there with Lucas Roth. I think that other lapped car is Smithy. Yes, it is. So Keeks has dropped himself in a relatively decent spot.
Yeah, he has. He's got clear air, as well as some lap traffic that shouldn't fight him too hard. Shane, though, still has clear air. He has got a lap car coming up, as he has a bit of a wiggle coming into the stadium section. Will he come into the pits now? Bryn came out of the pits P8, so again, not bad considering that DJ Phil's got to pit. Shane is in to the pit lane, and that's why drivers need to test it here. Look, because Shane just a bit tentative on the brakes. Little Leach follows him in.
Straight in as well. Little Leach and Shane both getting their pit stops done. How fast is Shane's pit stop going to be? That is the question as he rolls in. As I think Lucas Roth into the final sector. Also, JM Grill is in the pits. So I think Shane here will lose.
What a stop!
It's a relatively quick stop, but we will lose the race lead.
Will lose the race lead, but how close will he be? He was 4 seconds off the back of Lucas Roth before Lucas Roth came into the pits. Great stop from Shane. There goes Lucas Roth. Shane off the limiter. And now then, Lucas Roth leading this race. Shane coming out. I think that's a bit... Yeah, he's found a bit of time, so it's a good pit stop for Shane. Has put him right in a good window here to maybe overtake, to maybe get on the back of Shane. JM Grill looks a lot closer to Little Leach as well, but DJ Phil could get in the middle of them and take that P4 away from JM Grill. No, he won't. But JM Grill a lot closer to Little Leach, Dan.
Oh, well, she right on that curb there. Really testing that curb limits there. But after the times have finally settled themselves out, Shane had found that 1 second to Lucas Roth. But he's finding more at the minute as they get into the hairpin. That's the yo-yo effect there. As one car goes in, the other one goes out. So Shane just trying to pick away at him. Still a podium. His first podium here at Simplay Motorsport will be a massive achievement for him.
Yeah, massive achievement indeed, as Welshie has Holty on the back of him. Welshie was looking at the back of Holty for so long. Holty's now looking at the back of Welshie as Welshie just goes a little deep at the hairpin. Holty kind of followed him, but not as far, so was able to tuck underneath, and Welshie loses that place. Bryn will be the next car, who's some 6 seconds off the back of these two. So Bryn driving well in this race. Phil in 5th place, yet to pit, as is Stealth Sloth. So them two, you'd imagine, will drop down the order a couple of places as Welshie loses the rear of his Lamborghini. And has he just overheated his soft tyres maybe? If he's on the softs, have they just got a little too hot? Gets going, but Bryn's going to be a lot closer.
Yeah, we were saying how much Bryn's made a great achievement here, but all the guys now pitting, it's all balanced out a little bit. He's currently in 8th place position, so not really worked out as well as Bryn probably would have hoped, but still nonetheless, he's in that qualifying group. If he catches Welshie, he'll gain more points.
Well, don't forget,
it's a bit of a tricky one, this one.
DJ Phil still to pit as well, as that is the rear wing of a car. DJ Phil's now in end of lap 10, and there is a rear wing. I think that's Bozzy Boy's, because it was black and blue.
Possibly so.
It is.
There it is.
Struggling, really struggling tonight is Liam, so hopefully he can be back to his best in race 2. DJ Phil, now look, drops behind Bryn. Bryn back into that non-qualifying zone here and pulling a gap to DJ Phil because DJ Phil's still in the pit lane. So where's Dean in regards to DJ Phil? Because Stolfsloff's still got to pit. Dean just entering the stadium section on the track map now. So you'd imagine Phil will be away before Dean gets round.
Yeah, but DJ Phil's taking his time here. He's not able to
Yeah.
go. And I've got to say as well, DJ Phil doing a very good job of not putting 100 litres in the car. So well done to him for doing that.
Do you want to know what? He's doing an even better job because he's hosting his radio show at the same time he's racing.
What a guy. But right now, Dean's going to get back past
Dean
him.
is going to jump him. Yeah.
Maybe he's had to adjust something in his radio station because right now, he's able to not get going, and there he goes.
That's cost him. That's cost him a 9th place at the moment. Stolfsloff still to pit, so he could get that 9th place back. But he's lost a lot of time to Stolfsloff in all of this as well, as Lucas Roth is coming up to a back marker. And that back marker is, I do believe, Smithy. Can we get a wipe? Oh, a bit of a wiggle there from Lucas Roth. Now then, hello. What's the tyre situation like? Because Shane looks like he's closing in a little bit here, Dan. A 42.7 compared to Shane's 42 dead, so 7/10. PN's asking for a wiper check on Dean Wysocki. The wipers are not on PN, so he's clearly not going fast enough just yet.
It's all good for Dean. He needs to switch them on because if it is raining, then he needs to make sure they're switched off. Oh, Shane! Whoa! He's just getting a little bit leery now. He can see Lucas Roth making mistakes.
Yeah, can he see Keegs have a few errors? And is he thinking, first ever win, Dan? We've all been in this situation, haven't we? Where you get your first ever win, you kind of lick your lips at every opportunity. Shane's just got to remain calm and patient here. As Smithy, I thought was going to allow Keegs up the inside there, and Keegs just kind of followed Smithy into the corner. Smithy then got it wrong. That will help Shane get a bit of time as Buzzy Boy's back to the pits. Smithy's trying to let Keegs go here, but Keegs just not close enough.
Yeah, Keys is not quite close. There we go. Lucas Roth finally sends it down the inside, and Smithy allows him to go through.
Stolfsloff's in.
How easy is he going? Stolfsloff is finally in, so that is everybody pitted in the correct pit window, which is nice to see. Also, that Buzzy Boy in the pits as well. I'm not sure what Smithy's trying to do here. Distract Keegs here? I don't know. But,
could be hoping for an Audi win here, Dan. And it's we know what Smithy was saying in the off-season about the endurance Audi. Shane is bringing that gap down now.
Shane is bringing that gap down. The thing is, Shane just needs to pick. He just needs to take his time. Keegs is making a little errors. We said last season, when he gets bored, he then tends to make silly little errors. And I don't know if this is a situation. Dean comes out the pits and Stolfsloff X is in the pits. That is a pit line excursion there, and Stolfsloff will possibly be getting a pit lane penalty for that one.
And Dean gives Stolfsloff plenty of room into the corner and lets Stolfsloff have the position there. Does Dean know that he's got the grunt in his Mercedes? Has Dean been off again? I'm not too sure, because DJ Phil's going to fly past him in the Giannetti here. Welshie's had a moment, and Bryn's got through to P6. DJ Phil now attacking the outside of Dean. You'd imagine Dean's Mercedes should get back past Phil. Oh, Phil squeezing Dean on the grass, and Dean struggling to get this one slowed down. Does a very good job of keeping hold of that, but Phil just squeezing him a little there, and Dean now back down to 10th place. Bryn, though, up to 6th from 14th on the grid, let's not forget. Great start to his night.
Yeah, definitely so. We'll see how see if he can get back onto the back of Bryn and give him some pressure. As I just thought for a moment there, we saw these changed for a moment, and you see here Lucas Roth flashing at Dean, saying, "Get out of my way."
Dean stopped.
Hunting me down.
What is Dean doing there? He stopped and gave Smithy the place.
Maybe he's struggling with that much damage. He's just trying to find a way home.
Possibly so. That's very strange to see. But a man who wanted the top 5 in the championship at the start of the season, well, he's going to lose out to all his rivals, bar Rukbar at the moment. Down in P11, he will be able to qualify for race 2. The battle at the front, though, back under 2 seconds once again as Bryn, a couple of seconds ahead of Welshie. The other battle is Stolfsloff and DJ Phil, as DJ Phil has managed to get ahead of Stolfsloff. Can Stolfsloff get back on the pace of DJ Phil here?
That is the question. Lucas Roth now just needs to take his time. Earlier on, they were lapping a lot slower than the other guys. Man who's improving is Holty. He's improving his lap times here. He's not too far off Little Leach. If Little Leach makes a mistake,
I think Little Leach has made a mistake, Dan, because a 150.1 on his last lap. I think that's why Holty's a lot closer. JM Grill is third, so Little Leach has definitely made a mistake then, because JM Grill is once again on the podium. Dean's in the pits, a clear damage for Dean then. Hopefully he's far enough ahead of Ukbar that Ukbar won't catch him, otherwise that's another place for Dean Wysocki lost. And Dan, that gap out front, just yo-yoing a bit here, but Shane's
got the lights on. He's coming for
He
him.
means business, doesn't he? He's learning this quickly. 7/10 quicker than Lucas Roth last lap. Shane with the lights on. All we need now is him to get on the back of him and give him a flash, and Shane means business.
Definitely so. He doesn't want too much flashing. He doesn't want to end up turning into a Mathew Duffin and start flashing every driver that comes by. Lucas Roth just in the
Don't know what you're on about.
in the back. You know exactly what I'm on about. But especially here, this is where it all started, I believe.
Have we seen any questionable driving tonight? No.
Let's not be saying any of that, especially if Kelly's in the chat.
Evening, Kelly. Hope you're watching. Hope you're enjoying. Where's the Duffin cut? Oh, that's tomorrow night. That's where Dan and Jamie can bring you that one tomorrow night. The Duffin Shop, sorry, the Duffin Shop. Floyd, get on Project Cars quick. As DJ Phil then, currently staying ahead of Stealth Sloth. Nowhere near that. Bryn has actually lost out to Walsh, I'm just noting on the timing screen. So Bryn has lost out quite a bit to Walsh. Has he made a mistake somewhere? Then Dean's out the pits, has lost out to Ukbar then. So just going from bad to worse, really, for Dean Wysocki tonight. And the uncle and nephew team not having the best of nights here.
No, definitely not. There's a lot of fuel on board Liam's car there, so he's just struggling as Lucas Roth is going to come towards the line now, and he does a 41.1. I think Shane is going to match him here. Oh, no, he's
a bit slower.
42.1, so he lost time that lap, but Jerem Grill once again on the podium at this stage. I think that's going to be... Is that 3 podiums in a row?
I will double check this for you now. JM Grill is on a run of... This will be his 5th podium in a row.
Wow. And I said this man was consistent. He was a little bit wide there.
He's had 8 podiums this season, never won a race. This will be his 9th podium this season. Now, if that doesn't win... This is what Smokey Devil did last year, Dan. Oh! Little mistake, but he's not had too big a wiggle there. He's mopped it up and he's got on with his job. But this is what Smokey Devil did last season, Dan. Got them points that got him that promotion spot and got him into that Pro Series. He wasn't quick enough to catch me and Emplava, and that's no disrespect to Smokey Devil, but he was the best of the rest. And between him and Welshie taking the odd podium away from each other, Smokey just got them more, and that's what got him promotion. This is what JM Grill is doing this season.
Yeah, definitely so. And if the way the Pro is shaping up for next season, it's going to be one of the hardest seasons yet. It's hard enough now as it is, but it's definitely going to be even more difficult with possibly the return of myself on the grid. If we can keep Mathew on the grid as well, obviously with both of us having to commentate for that night, obviously it'd be a bit unfair if I come straight into Pro-Am. But if we were able to get both of us on the grid, then that's going to be a challenge itself, with having 2 of us on the grid. Then also Overtaker. The possible of Richie possibly joining us as well, with the likes of Gary, Sutty, and all the other big names in there as well. Pro is going to be difficult. So whoever wins this championship and come in the top 3 here, they have got to be on their A game.
Oh, JM Grill just having another wiggle at the stadium section now. Just read Emplava's comments. Shane is starting to struggle. Indeed he is, because of 43.5 now, and it's dropped to 5 seconds off the back of Keegs. Maybe it's time to just bring the car home if you're Shane. He's got the gap to JM Grill. JM Grill's gap to Lil Licho is slowly getting smaller and smaller. Bryn has dropped right off the back of Welshie, so that battle isn't happening. Holty's right there with JM Grill and Little Leach make another mistake. Here is Lucas Roth putting a lap. I don't know what is happening there. I can't explain what is happening there. That is one of the best things I have ever seen. I don't know whether Liam's upside down. I don't know the situation here. That car surely has to tip.
That car's broken.
It's got no fuel. I don't know what's happened here.
More importantly, Little Leach is attacking JM Grill here for the podium position. This is important, because this is for Little Leach right now.
Your dad is watching, so evening, Kelly. Hope you enjoyed Goodwood. Duffin cut tomorrow night and the questionable driving, but hey, you know, It is what it is. Appreciate the comments, though, Kelly. And hope you did enjoy Goodwood. Hope it was a good weekend. And glad to see you back tomorrow night. Little Eat Show is attacking the back of JM Grill. And I think Bozzy Boy has broke his game because that car... that was remarkable. Shane, on the back of Soft to put a lap on him then, is just starting to struggle. Narrow flow, PS4 and PS5 this is, buddy. So get yourself, if you have got a PlayStation, get yourself on it. Again. If the Discord link in the on the lobby doesn't work, let me know, because I don't know what's happening with that at the moment. It's but JM Grill, Dan, drivers here are really struggling on their tyres.
Stoff's had a moment here. He's just, he's just got right out the way there to allow Shane through, and that's allowed Smithy through as well. But Little Each is closer than ever to JM Grill. He was closer the last lap, just had to bail out of the hairpin, but he just needs to nail the first sector. Ex-pro constructor champion, hunting down one of the most consistent drivers here in the Pro-Am.
8 podiums this season for JM Grill. Championship lead this season at the moment for Little Each. It is do or die. But you'd imagine for Little Each here, he's got to struggle. He's got to do all the work in this final sector to make sure he's right up the chuff for JM Grill at this part of the track. Bossy Boy is still sort of hovering off the ground there, as I think the game has glitched out when we come to this part of the track, because it seems to be jumping towards him. Little Each, though, at this moment in time, is really gaining under the braking, Dan, and JM Grill just seems to be struggling on the brakes.
He does a bit, as I think Shane's attack has really come to an end now. He's just going to cruise over and finish in second place, but what a place. We keep saying that each round he will improve and improve. This is going to be his best one yet, but Little Each is right on the back of JM Grill.
And Dan, what a season this year for the Super Crash Bros. Brins took his first couple of wins. He's been on the podium himself. Shenron had a good first outing when he was here before he left. And now Shane. What a season for this team.
Yeah, definitely so. The Super Crash Bros really showing what they could do here this season. And with their driver choices as well. Bryn, the man this season was on the start of the season, looked to be unbeatable. But now he's just struggling a little bit, and now he's turned towards Shane. I've just had confirmation from Beth, because Liam is racing at mine tonight, the game has crashed on him. That is why he is floating there. So the game has crashed on him. Digger, if I wanted to get into driving sims and be able to compete, how many driving hours would I be looking at to get there? Any advice would be appreciated. It all depends on... Shane had very little driving experience when he came in and started to do a good job. So it's all about how good you are to start with before coming in, and about how much time you put into it, really. But we always are online to host lobbies. We're always about to speak to if you needed some help and advice. Just get on the Discord. Each has a great run here. Sorry to butt in.
You're fine.
Little Each had a great run into Sector 2. He's right on the back of JM Grill, and he's going to set himself for one of the best opportunities to overtake. Into the hairpin we go. Little Each is going to send it down the inside. He thinks better of it and pulls out. JM Grill stays in front. Great racing, but has he gone too big? No. Little Each missed an opportunity there.
Missed an opportunity indeed, and so yeah, Digger, just get yourself involved, get yourself on, and we're always online for help and advice if you need it. But Little Each, you're right, Dan, he's really now starting to put the pressure on JM Grill and really look for an extra couple of places here. Smithy's got himself out of Stealth after Stealth's mistake early doors. Hook Bar's down in 11th. This really helps at the minute. JM Grill, Little Each, and Lucas Roth, who Little Each had a bit of a moment coming out of the chicane and has now got onto the has lost a bit of time as Lucas Roth and Shane are about to start the final lap of this race, Dan. I tell you what, 74 races without a win, and at the minute it could be 3 in a row.
The London bus is going to be the triple bus here. He's going to be driving a coach on the way home because of this mountain of wins he's having. Soon the championships are all going to start falling his way as well. But Little Each, his championship right now has to clear JM Grill. Obviously now JM Grill is now consistent with points. He's now obviously helping Keys gain on Little Each right now.
The gap went down to 20 points after qualifying. Keegs is going to score 25. Little Each is only going to score 13 at the minute. That's another 12 points. Keegs, without fastest lap, has chipped away at Little Each, bringing the gap down even more. Dina backmarker just in front as this. Mathew's had a moment as well, so he's lost out to Stove Sloth. He has got to run. JM Grill must have had a bad time of it coming out of 2 and 3. And JM Grill with that quicker Mercedes look. Little Each has got in front, but JM Grill just now starts to pull him back in. Has that inside line, and look at the Mercedes grunt earlier on the brakes. He's going to box Little Each in with Dean Wasocki there. And Little Each had nowhere to go.
Jam Grill, what a perfect opportunity there, but Dean is going to get in the way. Teagues is coming into the final section now. We have to turn to him, but Little Leach is still attacking him.
Little Leach is still attacking the back of JM Grill. Keep your eyes on that timing screens for who's going to get third. We will cut back to it the moment Shane crosses this line. But you can't. The London buses. This is now 3 in a row. A flash of the lights. He slows down. This drive has been exceptional from Keegs. But Dan, it wasn't without the pressure of this man, who hats off to him at the moment. A second place. Little Leach has got him, and Jam Grill has lost out massively. Phil will cross the line for a P8. Let's go back to Little Leach, because it may end the run of podiums for Jam Grill.
It will do, I think, because Little Leach, all he has to do is make the final few corners. What a race that these guys have put on. I think that's still Stoff and Smithy going at it towards the line, and they come together.
They cross the line. Smithy ahead of Stoff. Little Leach flashes for the P3. That is his first podium since race 1 at Kota. Dean crosses the line for a P12, so not the night for Dean. Ukbar will be P11. Stoff got 10th in the end. Smithy 9th as well. Here comes Holty for a solid P5. That's Welchie in the background, who looks like he's going to take a P6. Oh, what a drive. What a night at the moment if you are some of these drivers, because I tell you what, they have worked tremendously hard at this one. And if you're Shane, what a start. If you're Keegs, even better. We await the fastest lap as Bryn crosses the line, and Ukbar will now cross the line. That Bozzy boy has technically stayed until the end. His game's crashed. So I presume we're going to have to wait the 11 seconds for that to count down for that Bozzy boy. He will get to qualify, though, Dan. That's the most important thing.
I love the fact that this is still revving.
Audio Sport, Duffin, Chop, PM Motorsport said, I don't compete at the front digger, but it just helps racing. Let's not talk about my Bahrain race too. Audio Sport, our beloved sponsor, by the way. Go and check them out on Facebook if you want anything to do with, what is it, Dan? T4s, T5s?
Yes.
There we go. If you want any T4, T5, there you go. Don't go on.
T4 specialist with anything to do with bumpers and anything that kind of fiberglass work as well. So if you want anything done to your T4 or T5, then head over to Audio Sport and also have a look at Sea Leach Designs as well, and also Design Manchester as well. But this man is your winner of the race, and I think the game is that bugged out because of Liam. We are unable to go back to the lobby.
I do believe so. So what we will do is we will await the fastest lap. We will go to a quick ad break now. We can see more about Audio Sport, but I believe the fastest lap will go the way of this man.
Yeah, I think so. He was the only man in the really low 40s, I think. So unless Ukbar went quicker, I could possibly have a look at the replays. But I don't know if I'll get the replays.
Can you bring these timings up? Can you bring any of these timings up on your screen? Or is that all gone? Fastest lap, there we go. Best lap, a 1:40.0 for Keegs is the best lap of the race. So Keegs does take the fastest lap. So we will be right back in just a moment where hopefully we can get this lobby sorted out. Don't go anywhere.
See you in a bit.
I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to focus everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport here for round 16 of this season. We've got the top three in for the interview, but just quickly, the championship standings. Lidl-Leach's gap at the top of the table, and if I was Smithy, I'd be getting the whip out and cracking it. 9 points to Lucas Roth. That is all that's in it. Lucas Roth on the form of his life at the minute. JM Grill, further 26 points behind. He couldn't gain any over Lidl-Leach due to finishing just behind him. Ukbar P4 on 169, tied with Bryn. So Bryn pulls points back over Ukbar to be tied P4th. Welshie is up into 6th ahead of Holty, that by 1 point. Dean Wysocki losing out a few points to them. He's now 8 points behind Holty, down in 8th, but still well clear of Smithy at the moment. Stove Sloth on 95, 2 ahead of DJ Phil. Shane on 71, so some 21 behind DJ Phil already. That is fantastic to see. Leon Fernie on the board with 11 points, but still could do with a few more points. Constructors looks like AS Teletubby Motorsport extend their championship lead to 18 points. Terminal Velocity Racing are 87 behind in third, with My Mate Racing currently in P3. Apologies about that. We've just had a cat running through the back door, so you can hear Beth shouting in the background. My Mate Racing are 4th, 109 points behind, tied with the Super Crash Bros, who go above MC Motorsport and are tied for P4 with My Mate Racing getting quicker. My Mate down at the end of the bottom of the pack. I think the cat is out the building. Dan, just do the interviews while I make sure that this is all sorted.
Another week in a row where I've had to deal with the interviews. You can't get the staff these days. But we will start the interviews with Little Leach. And Little Leach, it's been a while since you've been on the podium, but back here once again. But it wasn't easy for you. A really hard fight there with JM Grill towards the end of the race.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming since Road America, I think. JM Grill put me under pressure a few times. Just the last couple of laps I managed to gain on him.
So obviously trying to build that momentum back with the championship lead coming down, and Keeks is coming for you. What's really the game plan for the rest of the season? Obviously Keeks with the momentum to him at the minute, he's really hunting you down at the minute.
Just try and keep consistent, get top threes, and hope it's his bedtime at 9:30, really.
Obviously going into this final race, I think you're going to be starting like mid-back pack, so possibly 12th by the looks of things. What can you do from there?
Hopefully just pick people off one by one, no mistakes, and try for a podium again.
Kind of a pro attached to the pro way attaching to your second race, basically, then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, best of luck for race 2, mate.
Cheers. Well done, Keeks and Shane.
As we do move on to your second place man, his best result yet here at Simplay Motorsport. Shane, a massive congratulations on P2. How does that feel, buddy?
Cheers, mate. Yeah, it feels good.
Honestly,
Hard work, though. Very hard work, that was.
You definitely look like you had the pace this evening, even to probably challenge Keeks from time to time, but you just didn't quite get close enough. If that opportunity came, would you have gone for it, or were you happy to settle for second?
I was happy for second, but first few laps I thought I was going to get him, but then I just started making silly little mistakes, to be fair.
Obviously, each race you just seem to be going into like a snowball effect. You just seem to be getting better and better each round.
Yeah.
Finally getting to the adaptive things. And what can you do for this race too? You're going to be starting, by the looks of things, 9th place position. What can you do from there?
Hopefully stay out of trouble on first couple of laps and hopefully start gaining a few places.
Well, and obviously your teammate, not the best way to start the night, obviously with a qualifying ban, but between you and Bryn, you're going to be working your way forwards towards the front of the pack, aren't you?
Yeah, hopefully anyway.
Well, congratulations on P2 and best of luck for race 2 as well, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
As we now move on to your race winner, 3 in a row. Lucas Roth is your winner. After punting me off in F2 on Sunday night, he is on the top podium again. And Keegs, you're on a roll at the minute, aren't you?
Dan, what have I told you? It was tactical. It was tactical. It was all men. Nah, yeah. I don't know what's going on just now, though. I just sort of took it easy in practice, putting some race laps, seeing what everybody was doing. And then, yeah, just went for it in quali, managed to put in a solid time and come out with a win.
9 points now separating you and Little Leash, and the championship is still definitely on. Obviously, another solid good round here. You're going to be starting 7th for the second race. By lots of things, you have another good round. You could possibly jump Little Leash in the championship.
Yeah, not the place I was hoping to start. I was kind of hoping to start at the back. Mid-pack is a bit chaotic, so hopefully I'll try and get my way through it, but, you know, we'll just have to see.
After a slow start to the season, you must be thinking now a championship is on your mind.
Yeah, I mean, I've not drove the game in a good few months before doing this again, and I was just getting used to the car, used to the game, used to the tracks and that again, so it's slowly coming back to me, and, you know, hopefully we can win the championship at the end of it.
Well, congratulations on another race win here, Keys. After not having many for a very long time, you've got 3 on the bounce, so congratulations on that, and best of luck for race 2.
Thank you.
As I don't know where Mathew's gone.
I'm back.
Those guys
I'm
will
back.
head back to those parties. And Matt, have you finally caught the cat?
The cat is gone. We have disposed of the cat in a very friendly manner. Beth is sat outside stroking it.
Nice. As currently, Dean Wasaki is the man currently on pole position as it stands.
Yeah.
Look, currently in second, which is a shock.
That lap as well from Dean is a bit more of a Dean Wasaki kind of lap, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely so, and possibly not had the right setup loaded up. Who knows? As I can't speak now. As Liam now currently back on track as he sorted out his engine problems, because it looked like he had 69,282 worth of damage on the engine apparently.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. It was, it was a strange one for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So he's currently out on track. Coming into the final corner. Has he improved on his lap? He's currently a car off in the hairpin. Who is that? Not sure who that was.
No, not too sure myself
Liam,
either.
I think it might have been Liam.
Gone back to the pits.
Yeah,
then,
I think it was Liam.
Right, well, he's back in the pit lane. With that win for the Mercedes-Benz, that is its 51st Pro-Am win and 72nd in total. 72 wins for the Mercedes-AMG, 70 pole positions, and it could get pole position number 71. And a man who's took a lot more Q2 pole positions than he probably would have liked, Dean Wasaki. If it stays like this at the moment, it'll be pole position number 4 this season, and it'll put him on 9 pole positions, tied with Rabbit Joe, and he'll be inside the top 10 of top 10 most pole positions at Simplay Motorsport. But what a second race we've got coming up as well, Dan. 9 points separate Little Leach to Keegs. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely so, and it's nice to see Keeks back where he belongs at the top of the tables, fighting with the top guys as well. So, obviously, not the best of moves for me on Sunday, because I did have to give him a little bit of a slap in after the ridiculous moment in race 2 of the F2s. But it's nice to see that slapping has gone to his head, and he's now winning here at Hockenheim.
Yeah, indeed it is. 3 wins in a row, and that's also 8 podiums this season. 3 wins, 3 thirds, 2 second places. He missed Cota. I can't remember why he missed Cota, but he missed Cota. Poor start to the season at Sakito, and a 4th place at Road America, a 6th place in race 2 at Spa, a 5th place in race 2 at Zolder, are his results this year. Really mounted a challenge, especially when you look at Lidley, a bit more consistent than when you look at Lidley to 7th, first, a run of 3 wins, which you thought, right, Lidley on a roll now. Then a 4th and a 6th at Imola wasn't the best. He got back on the podium at Cota. Then a 7th, a 5th and a 13th at Zolder. Terrible night. A 4th and a 4th at Spa. 4th and a 9th last week. And so far a podium. Keegs looks like he's got the bit better race results you'd want to have compared to Lidley at this moment in time.
Yeah, definitely so. But we just know for a fact that Lil Leach can bring those performances back. He can bring it, as Leon Fernie has another spin there. Just struggling by the looks of things, but we know that Lil Leach can come back at Keeks. The thing is, can Keeks keep this momentum up? When we go to circuits like Brno, where the Mercedes are not necessarily known to be quick there, or places like Oscherslaben, or even possibly, he needs to keep his head cool when we go to Daytona, because that's going to be a circuit where the Mercedes should be dominant, and
There's Ukbar.
Goes on pole.
Yeah, goes on pole and beats Dean by 0.2 of a second. And Dean's in the pits, so Dean will not get another lap in. Ukbar will, as will DJ Phil and that Bozzy boy. But Ukbar then, proving to get back into that 39s once again.
It is indeed, and I think there is a car coming out the pits. I'm not sure who is coming out. It's Leon Fernie, so he's not going to get a lap time in, but is it possible changes to the car just so we can see how it feels? Who knows? But Ukbar currently on pole position, and I don't really see that Bozzy boy, DJ Phil, or possibly Leon Fernie breaking that.
Yeah, I don't think Leon Fernie's going to get a time in. Ukbar has bailed, so it is just Phil and that Bozzy boy. I think it's that Bozzy boy to the stadium section. Yes, it is. And for Liam and Phil, what can they do? It's about gaining an extra couple of places here. This will put Lucas Roth, by the way, look, Little Leach 12th. Lucas Roth will be 7th, should be 8th after this first, when Bozzy Boy puts the time on the board. So at the minute, Lucas Roth got the up hand, and Shane as well. Not a bad qualifying for Shane to say he can't qualify. He'll be there in P10.
Currently P10 for Shane. But it's going to be an interesting reverse grid for sure, as the top 7 will now finally complete all their lap times. DJ Phil, last man to set a lap time here. He comes into the final corner. Leon Fernie currently out on track as well. But DJ Phil, does he improve? He does, but stays 5th place for the minute. But it is Ukbar who is your pole man here, as Leon Fernie just coming into the final section now.
And that's another good lap for Ukbar. Bozzy Boy managed to get it up to 4th, so not a bad lap for Bozzy Boy. What that means for the Ginetta, Dan, is it means yet another pole position. And that means that the Ginetta's got 12 in the Pro-Am and 19 in total. It is now tied with the Audi for most pole positions. If you're Ukbar, though, it's another one that makes it 12 here at Simplay Motorsport. As Ukbar on pole position from Dean Wysocki will be the front row of the grid. The second row of the grid will be Smithy and that Bozzy boy. Row 3, DJ Phil and Stelsoff. Row 4, Leon Fernie and the first of the non-qualifiers of Lucas Roth. JM Grill, row 5 alongside Shane in row with him. Row 6 is Bryn with Little Leach, and row 7, Holty and Welchie, who had an epic battle in race 1, Dan. And they're, would you believe it, they're alongside each other again.
They are alongside each other once again, and it's going to be an interesting race going into this final race here, as I think the guys at the back have to be patient, and the guys at the front need to take their time in clearing the cars and traffic.
Race 2 winner?
I'm going to go with Ukbar on this one.
I've got to go Lucas Roth. I think he'll do it.
I think it's a long way to go, and I think with Ukbar on pole position as well, he had the pace. He can just disappear and stay out of trouble if he possibly can. But I think turn 1 is where the chaos is going to be.
Well, we'll have to keep our eyes out. It was pretty clean through turn 1 last time around. Can it be clean once again? That will be the question here, as the poll is up for you guys to vote on Drive of the Day. Evening to Domo, and Jamie Brazier in the chat. Hope you're both well. And Charlie Norcott at the end of race 1. Well done, Shane. So hopefully they'll be in to cheer him on yet again. P10 and 24 people watching, 21 likes. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new, as we are fastly approaching the 300 mark of subscribers. And Dan, this season has flew by. 5 weeks to go for the Pro-Am. It's nearly 4 weeks to go. And the championship is getting more exciting every week we come to a Wednesday night.
It's been thrown around with so many different drivers being the lead ones. Little each 1 point, Bryn another one, Lucas Roth another. But this is going to go down to the wire this season as we are syncing up here.
It is indeed, and the 3 red lights are on. It's green and go for the 16th round of the season, and Dean and Uqbal get a pretty similar start. Bozzy Boy tucks in behind already, and the 2 Audis in the background. I think Bryn gets the better start out of him and Shane. Leon Fernie round at turn 1, and it's got collected by Bryn and Stealth Sloth. No rear wing already for Leon Fernie. He had nowhere to go and didn't move, but Uqbal, Dean, that Bozzy Boy and Smithy all the way well. For Bryn, Stealth Sloth, Welshie looked like he got caught up in that. No, he hasn't. He's there with Leon Fernie, sorry. They all get caught out. And Leon Fernie, no rear wing. That's going to be a pit stop early doors for him. But Dean must have made a mistake.
He has made a mistake. He's dropped into turn 2. Once again, the pressure of leading a race or being in the top 2 has cracked to Dean Wasaki. He is down to 12th place position. But it's Uqbal. Lucas Roth is 2nd place already.
Yeah, the end of lap 1. Not even the end of lap 1. Turn 4 in this first race. And Lucas Roth up into P2 already. Bozzy Boy dropping down the order a little bit. He's behind Phil and Little Each now. Little Each is up to 4th as Bryn and Selsoff may have some big damage themselves. Welshie, Shane stays nice. Welshie is 10th. Dean's just got past Welshie there then. So that's another place for Dean. He's now got to get past Shane. Shane on the back of JM Grill, and as you can see in the background there, DJ Phil looking all over the back of that Bozzy Boy as Smithy having a look at Lucas Roth here.
Yeah, I think he's just having a look, but he's not really got any opportunity here. And Shane also on a run here. He's on the inside of JM Grill. Is he going to get the job done? No, he's not. As the Holty there just chops off.
I think
Grill, but they keep it together.
I think Shane sensibly backed. Oh, he's took Shane! Holty's on the grass, and Shane, I think, got caught up in the wiggle of Holty and tapped Shane round.
I think that's not really much Shane could have done there.
No.
He just got caught out there.
I was
not
just
much
about...
Holty done wrong either.
Again, I agree with you there. I just about to say that I think Shane backed out of Holty, Shane and JM Grill going 3 wide, and then Holty has a wiggle and Shane gets caught out. Nothing he can do. Smithy's got past that Bozzy Boy then, and that, in fact, Little Each has also got past that Bozzy Boy, so he's down to 5th. Dean on a comeback now up into 9th place, and Leon Fernie with that 100% wing damage in the pits.
Yeah, he had to pit with that one. It's Lucas Roth now looking to try and hunt down Uqbal as quickly as he possibly can. Also, Bryn's in the pits. They're going to have to, well, Bryn especially, will have to prove that he has got sustainable damage to me to make sure that he does not get a penalty, but it looks pretty beaten up, to be fair.
Yeah, that one looks pretty self-explanatory. There was no garage out for Bryn there. That's not fixed any damage on Bryn's car.
Oh no! Is he just pitted and not being able to repair the car? Maybe it's done exactly what he wanted to do, but repair the car. As Holty's gone very wide there.
Yeah, that did it to him at Silverstone Classic Race 1 last week. He said it happened to him then as well. So not the news for Bryn as Holty very wide. He's now battling with Welshie, who's got Dean Wasaki right behind him. This for 8th, 9th and 10th as Welshie there. Just a little tap up the rear on the back of Holty. And now they rub doors side by side, and Dean Wasaki could be licking his lips here as Lucas Roth hunting down Uqbal early on. Bozzy Boy looks like he's much more stable in this second race, Dan, and already back on the back of Little Each so far. JM Grill trying to catch DJ Phil for 6th and 7th. There's Welshie, Dean and Holty with Stealth Sloth in the background as well.
Yeah, all those guys relatively close.
I tell you what, did Leon... No, I was going to say, what has happened there then?
Not sure what has happened there.
Oh, hang on. Did Leon Fernie pull into Bryn's pit box and Bryn didn't realise, so he's carried on going?
I have no idea, but either way, that could be horrendous for those guys. It's Smithy just struggling here to stay ahead of these guys. But Lucas Roth is bringing that gap down to bar.
He is bringing that gap down. He's flying at Lucas Roth at the minute, 40.6 so far. These three just getting spread out. JM Grill having a look for a move. As we're now up to 287 on the subscribers to 13 away, guys and girls. Hit that subscribe button because we are fastly approaching 300, and me and Dan get a bit giddy when things like this happen. As Leon Fernie must have had a moment somewhere. You'd imagine these two are going to come back into the pits once again.
Yeah, definitely so. And I think that'll be the penalty enough as it is. As Leon Fernie is off, is Bryn going to come into the pits now? Possibly so. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
So pitting twice, I think, is enough of a penalty.
Yeah, he's basically they've basically done a drive-through, haven't they, to do that. Holty has gone deep. Now, where's Dean in the background? Because he was on the back of Welshie. Dean way behind Stealth Sloth. Look, JM Grill looking on the back now of Keegs! Lucas Roth! He's dropped to 5th. He's had a moment on his own. He's dropped down to 5th place then. Well, Little Leach is now back through.
He is back through, and that Buzzy Boy isn't too far off either. Off the back of these guys. Touching a little bit too much curve there, but Keegs made a mistake there, and not what he needs to do for this final race here.
No, not what he needs to do for the Constructors' Championship as well. Bryn is out the pits. Now, let's just go to him and see that. See if... See, that doesn't look fixed still.
Leon's is fixed.
I wonder if Bryn's caught something on the D-pad to not change his thing. Maybe he needs to press up on the D-pad, go to adjust strategy and sort his thing out, because that is definitely not being fixed for Bryn then. So a terrible race too for him. Dean Wasocki down in 11th, losing out some places. Bryn might be pitted at the end of the actual pit window. Leon Fernie's got a time penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh no, not what he needs.
Oh,
right now.
Bozzy!
Bozzy looked like he was improving. Leon Fernie's disconnected now. So after he repaired the car, he has disconnected. So obviously we'll carry a qualifying ban for the next round anyway. So Leon Fernie, not the night for him at the minute.
No, not the night for him. And again, letting the team down for not scoring points. Keegs then has the run on Bozzy Boy, and Bozzy doesn't look like he's fighting this, but also Keegs didn't look close enough. Sends one up the inside of the hairpin. Keegs just gets it stopped, and job done. Keegs back into 4th and can now head after Little Leach as JM Grill goes up the inside of DJ Phil. They've both gone so deep that they've invited Welshie and Holty onto the back of them. And I wonder what they can do then in this. What's happened to Shane, actually? Because he's down in 12th place.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, he got the damage, didn't he, from the wiggle of Holty, didn't he, early on? Sorry.
Yes, he did. He's doing quite well just to stick to the back of the group, so he's not going to lose out massively here. So he's just being consistent. Team orders here. Is it going to come into play? But we know Smithy is the man who wears the trousers in the relationship between these two. So will he say, mate, you're staying behind me. You've had too many podiums already.
I think Smithy, knowing Smithy from teaming with him last season, Smithy will be very likely to say, go on, buddy, go get them. As that Bozzy Boy's dropped down to 9th place. So he's had another moment.
Yes, indeed. I think there was just that little spin earlier on. As is this team always here?
There we go.
Smithy's actually defending. He's staying in front.
All right, so Smithy defending from his teammate all over the curb, doesn't want to be there, comes back across it. Now Little Leach has a run. Oh, and they touch each other a bit, and this is all going to help Lucas Roth gain time.
And points.
And well, Welshie's had a wiggle out of turn 1. Bozzy's had a huge slide through turn 1. Well saved. Jamie Brazier saying Ogbar is running away with this. He is at the moment. But let's not forget, Ogbar's pace towards the end of the last race didn't look great. But he's out on front on his own, so he can save his tyres maybe a bit more.
Yeah, definitely. So he could take it a little bit easier right now. And Smithy has allowed his teammate through. But look who's in the background. Lucas Roth is catching them at a fast rate of knots right now.
He is indeed. I mean, if the quicker Lucas Roth can catch them, the quicker Lucas Roth will be on the back of Little Leach once again. Holty staring at the back of the Mercedes-Benz of Welshie for another race here, as they're all just struggling at the hairpin, a lot of drivers tonight, I've noticed.
Well, Lucas Roth has a slide there, and I don't know if that was intentional, but trying to stick to the back of the two pick and mix motorsport boys at the minute, but at the minute, Smithy has got to make that Audi as wide as possible for his teammate, as that Bozzy Boy's had another moment.
He has had another moment. It was across the grass there. Dean's losing out to the back of these two fighting hard, and Dean can try and pick up a couple of places behind them, but he isn't close enough. He's actually got Shane coming down on him. Bryn's back in the pits again, and that is Bozzy who's had a spin, and DJ Phil does very well to avoid him, and Ukbar, Dan, the first of the leaders to pit.
He is one of the first to pit. Bryn's back in the pits again. Is he going to get that car finally repaired? I definitely don't need to see it.
Lucas Roth. Lucas Roth into the pits, and yeah, I think that one's justice enough, isn't it? 2 drive-through penalties, arguably. Lucas Roth in the pits, so it's a battle of who's had the better pit stop as to who will get away first. Lucas Roth's actually only just coming into his pit box as Ukbar pulls away. Bryn is definitely stationary this time, and Lucas Roth, great stop, will gain some time. Bryn is definitely stationary, Dan, this time for his pit stop.
Yeah, and that's really... How has Liam ended up there? I don't know. But right now, Self-Soft looking down the inside of DJ Phil. Is he going to get this job done? It looks like he's got a good job of it here.
No, doesn't get it. DJ Phil stays in front, and Ukbar's just in front of the pair of them. Dean then in the background. He's also trying to gain on the back of these two. Shane can't come in because Bryn was in the piss. 1-2, says Gary in the chat. And yeah, would you look at it? It is a 1-2. Lucas Ross behind Dean. So that was the difference in the gap between Ukbar and Lucas Roth. Lucas Ross behind Dean and Stelfsoff and Phil. Ukbar's ahead of that trio. So Lucas Roth needs to clear them as quick as possible. Now Stelfsoff goes up the inside and gets the job done on DJ Phil. And that is a fantastic manoeuvre, as Dean isn't fighting Lucas Roth, shouldn't really want to fight him too hard because Shane is also coming. Welchie makes a mistake now and Holty's up to P4.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a smart move from Lucas Roth to pit so early. It's that he's got loads of car traffic, as you see. Stelfsoff's had a moment there.
Dean's had a moment.
Dean's had a moment. That's one car less to worry about, but he had to react possibly to that spin. So he might have had to lift it ever so slightly. Now he needs to clear DJ Phil and Stelfsoff. The rest of these guys at the minute not looking like they want to pit, other than Smithy. He's in.
Smithy's in, so can Smithy, has he got enough to do the jump on Lucas Roth? He was ahead of him, let's not forget already. Will he jump Lucas Roth in the pits? Will Lucas Roth jump him in the pits? That is the big question. No one else pitting, so Ukbar has now got a bit of traffic of Holty and Welchie in front of him as he will pull ahead from Smithy. Lucas Roth has actually got past DJ Phil. Phil's dropped behind Shane at the moment as well, so something's happened to DJ Phil out there. So Lucas Roth up to 9th and Shane and DJ Phil both pit.
They're both into the pit. I don't know if DJ Phil's had a moment and decided to pit straight away. Shane can finally get rid of that damage he's been carrying, so he'll be able to be a little bit quicker, but Little Leach leads this race. But Welshie now back onto Holty, and these two have had a cracking fight tonight.
All night these two have been with each other, and it's been an epic battle to watch. Lucas Roth did jump Smithy in the pit, so Little Leach needs to get his foot down out front if he's to jump Lucas Roth, who's just got ahead of Stelfsoff as well. But Welshie, these two will be able to paint a picture of what the back of each other's cars look like at the end of tonight. It has been a fantastic battle, and it's going to continue, I reckon, a lot this season. Welshie always kind of been the bridesmaid, never the bride in Pro. I'm always on the podium or around about the podium without being on it on the top step too much. It was great to see your father-son 1-2 last week, and you just wonder now how long these two are going to stay out, when these two are going to pit, because look, there's Ukbar, your net race leader, in the background. So a lot of work for him to do. If he's to get on the back of these pair and these pair keep fighting, Ukbar will get caught up in that, as Shane's only just left the pit lane, nearly a lap down. Little Leach, show stays on the lead lap because he's the leader.
Yes, and JM Grill once again keeping himself to himself, is now working his way through the pack. Holty bails in there, and Welshie will go through.
Time penalty! Speeding in the pit lane for Holty. Time penalty it is then. That will allow Ukbar 2 more places. You'd imagine it'll allow Lucas Roth another 2 places as well, he's actually looks a bit closer to... Oh, Stealth, get it stopped. He has done.
The worst thing that happened there is the rears to lock up and the car to go round, and then you can get disqualified for that one. So he has managed to get going, but poor Shane, dramatic changes here from race 1 where he looked so good.
Yeah.
Race 2, it's just not gone his way.
Damage limitation, you feel now for Shane, how many places he can get. Smithy comes out behind JM Grill, so JM Grill has jumped Smithy in the pits, and Smithy did well to avoid the back of Shane's car there. Dean comes out behind Holty, but ahead of Stelfsoff, who is still in that pit lane, and his car still being repaired. So that Bozzy Boy looks like he's going to gain an extra place, and does so. What about DJ Phil and Shane? DJ Phil was battling with Stelfsoff before DJ Phil's pit stop. He's not no more because Stelfsoff is well in front.
Yep, Stelfsoff has got that job done. Smithy looking to try and make a move on Jam Grower. Jam Grower has jumped him in the pit, so he's going to be happy with that one.
Lucas Roth to Ukbar, 5 seconds. So he's bringing the gap down. Holty very wide at the hairpin. Lucas Roth's bringing the gap down, isn't he?
He is indeed, and it depends how quickly Keys can bring that gap down and where Little Leach is going to feed in between that. I think he should become behind Lucas Roth. He's lapping similar to Little Leach. It's his fastest lap, or near enough his fastest lap that lap. So he is able to react to the guys behind him.
Yeah, he is. Ukbar then gaining on the back of Welshie, and Welshie dives into the pit. So that will be a godsend if you're Ukbar to make sure that you do not get in that traffic of Welshie. And he now has 18 seconds of clear air between him and Little Leach, meaning that Ukbar can pump in the lap times and has to put that pressure back on Lucas Roth, who sets his best lap of the race.
Bang! Look at that, 40.5 for Lucas Roth. He is on it. He is chasing down Ukbar. The Flying Dutchman has got a lot on his plate here, but Little Leach also is making Ukbar think as well. Look at the gap he's got. If he has a very quick pit stop, he'll be done and dusted and out of the pits.
That's a good stop from Welshie, and this could... Holty's actually jumped Welshie in the pits, but that time penalty for Holty is back. Look at them again, Dan. Let's just go to Welshie, because I've just seen the dots on the map. They're pretty much together. Dean now into the pits. Look at that gap. Dean then in. And these two have been like this all night. And, yeah... It's going to be an interesting one. And if you're Dean and Bozzy Boy, get a good pit stop, get in and out, and get back on that battle with DJ, Phil, Shane, and Bryn, who's a bit further down. He's a minute down on his teammate after a horrendous, because for some reason it wouldn't pit him. But he's still going to the end. Leon Fernie retired, which is a shame, but Bryn's going to the end. Dean and Liam in, and I think the last person to pit is this man, who's the only guy who's not pitted yet. When does he decide to come in, Dan?
I think he's going to leave it to as late as possible. He's trying to extend that gap, try and gain the time while he can. But the problem is, Ukbar and Keegs have both now got clear air. Little Leach is now lapping consistently in the mid-41s. That's his best race pace. Ukbar, 42.0 was his last lap. And it looks like it's going to be similar once again to this one. So the thing is, they're just going to keep yo-yoing, affecting between one another.
Yeah.
Kind of ebbing and flowing between the two. So... I've kind of stolen that line off you now.
You have, yeah, a little bit.
Well, I think everyone has. I've heard it more times on other leagues and championships, more than I've actually heard it from yourself.
It just goes to show how many people watch Simplay Motorsport, doesn't it? As Lucas Roth, again, just takes a couple of tenths out of Ukbar on that last lap, and the leaders all lapping very similar pace. Stove Sloth up to 8th, ahead of Phil, and behind his teammate Welshie. Phil, 8 seconds the gap to Shane. So Shane's not out of this one for a few more points yet.
No, definitely not. Shane can definitely bring something back from this. He has a little wiggle there, but it's not over yet for him. Obviously, best result yet for second place, but possibly just caught out a little bit with the race start, not being able... Bad luck more than anything, I think, with the contact with Leon Fernie.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there then. Dean is a bit way behind. That Bozzy Boy has had a terrible night tonight, has Dean Wasocki. Little Eat Show. Dan continues on his way at the moment, coming to the end of lap 10. Will he decide to pull it into the pits this time around? That's the big question.
That is the big question. When does Little Leach decide, this is it, I'm coming in, and get his pit stop done and out the way? Still continuing on at this minute.
He is at the minute then, and he's going to do a fine job of keeping going so far. He's actually lost time this last lap to Ukbar than what he did the lap before, a 42 dead. Meaning that he's going to slowly just fall into that category of maybe going too long. He needs to be a bit more consistent, meaning Ukbar's had a better lap. Keegs has brought the gap down a little more, though. It was 4.6 last time we came through this part of the track. It's now 4.4. By the time Keegs gets back on the power...
He's a second lap slower to Ukbar. Keegs crosses the line. He's improving massively, so he's only a tenth off his best. So Keegs is slowly bringing that gap down to Ukbar. He doesn't want to be doing that too much.
Oh, my days. That was a big wiggle. Well held from Keegs. Lost him a little bit of momentum, though. Well, Smithy at the minute, look, P5 so far, doing a good job and staying quite close to the back of JM Grill at the minute.
Yeah. If I was Little Leach now, I would be coming into the pits because this isn't working. You're not gaining time. If anything, you're losing time. And the longer it takes you, the less likely chance you'll be able to fight back.
Doing a bit what Dean did in race 2 last week, if you remember rightly. Went long and it didn't work for Dean. It's not working for Little Leach.
No, it's not right now. And Little Leach, he probably knows this is hurting him right now. Yeah, it's Little Leach. You can just see the time coming down. 16 seconds now. The longer it takes him, the more likely chance Ukbar and Keegs will definitely jump in. And at this rate, JM Grill might be in that zone now to possibly catch him. I honestly think Little Leach needs to come in and have track position rather than trying to be clever. And he's coming in now.
Yeah, he is. Like, oh, Bozzy Boy's had a huge wiggle as into the pits comes Little Each. And Liam had a huge wiggle there coming through the penultimate corner. So Little Each into the pits. That is all the pit stops done now. And it's a question of how far behind this man he will feed out, because Ukbar should take the net lead. Ukbar has a back marker in front of him, and I believe that back marker is Dean Wasocki. So Dean could play a big role in this race at the moment, as Little Each is going to be passed by Ukbar, and Lucas Roth exits the final corner. Little Each pulls away now, so Lucas Roth will take second place. JM Grill, I think, a bit too far behind, but could be a bit closer to Little Each, you know, actually. He's coming out the last corner now.
He should be off the power, and on the way he goes. He's closer to Lucas Roth than JM Grill.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe JM Grill might be ever so slightly closer, but now Little Each is pitted. He's now given this opportunity. Yes, he's maybe third and not leading this race, but he is in that situation to react if anything happens to the top two. Yes, he hasn't got the overall right race pace on the leaders, but like I said, if anything happens to the top two, he is there, ready to pick up the pieces when needs to.
He is indeed, and after Ukbar's poor race one, he's going again here and looks to try and get a win. The Dutch domination of, I can't remember where it was now. Spa, was it? Was it Spa? No, Kota. The Dutch domination at Kota. Not had a race win since, and he's looking to be back on that top step of the podium. He's just gapped Lucas Roth a little bit. He's also put a lap on. No, he hasn't lapped Dean Wasocki yet. Dean Wasocki just in front, look. She's coming up to some traffic. But Keegs will be wanting to maybe go 4 race wins on the bounce here. What a monumental effort that would be for Keegs to go 4 race wins on the bounce. 74 races without a win, and then makes it 4 wins in a row. That would be some achievement for Lucas Roth. You can see him there in the background. He's actually gained on Ukbar this lap a little bit.
Yeah, ever so slightly. So right now, Little Each is somewhat close enough to these guys at the minute. Then hopefully he can pick up the pieces when these two do make a mistake, if they make a mistake.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's more if than when, isn't it, at the moment? We saw Ukbar made a few mistakes race 1. Little Each had Lucas Roth's had a few wiggles race 2. But it's when they make the mistake. Shane closing that gap down to DJ Phil at the minute. It was some 7 tenths quicker than DJ Phil on the last lap. So he's trying to pick up some more points. And again, another good night for Shane. He can leave here. Disappointed with race 2, but his head held high.
Yeah, definitely so. As Lucas Roth, just look at that, he's going quicker once again. And can he improve on a little bit more lap time so he can get onto the back of Ukbar and try and take another win as he just clears Dean there.
Yeah, Dean stayed well out of the way and was very aware of, Lucas Roth, a bit of a slide into the hairpin under the brakes. Dean very aware of Ukbar up his inside and gave him enough room and respect to let him go. And that's what Ukbar should have done in race 1, maybe.
Yeah, possibly so. But either way, you live and learn from these mistakes. He's now learned from that one, and now he is on his way. He's basically got 6 more laps, and he just has to make sure that Keegs does not gain more than half a second a lap. The
gap's down to 3.7 seconds now, Dan. But Keegs has obviously got that obstacle in his way of Dean Wasocki to lap as well. So, wiggle on the curb! And he's managed to do well to hold that there, to be fair.
Definitely. So if there was rain lurking around, that would be the end of his race for sure. As Little Each, like I said, he's just there. He's just sitting there waiting for something to happen. And if Keegs keeps doing little moments like that, it's going to make Little Each a little bit happier.
Keegs didn't actually lose that much time to Ukbar through that part of the track. Look at the lap time, 140.9 still. So Keegs was really on it up until that point, nearly a second quicker. Even Little Each quicker than Ukbar that lap. So Ukbar, his tyres just starting to go off as DJ Phil's gone very deep, and Shane now on the back of DJ Phil, trying to come at him here. And Shane looking for that 8th place, maybe then trying to get on the back of Self-Soft, who's only 5 seconds up the road from these two. So more points on offer for Shane. And a top 8 to be brilliant. DJ Phil very wide. Shane's going to look right around the outside here. Thinks better of it, and he's just going to patiently wait as we go on board the roof cam now of Shane. And look at DJ Phil coming into the stadium section. Dab on the brakes from both drivers. Shane just letting Phil get away a little bit more. And look at the closing speed of Shane in through the stadium. How he didn't touch the rear of DJ Phil, I don't know. But Phil very late on the brakes, and it's doing him no favours. Shane's awareness is getting better and better every week. And look at him. Look at the different line he takes to DJ Phil.
He's going a little bit wide there. DJ Phil will manage to hang on to that position. But great driving there from Shane. He managed to just pick out exactly when he needed to hit the brakes. DJ Phil and South Slough are definitely achievable for him towards the end of this race. And right now, he just needs to be patient. He needs to just figure out where's DJ Phil weak, where's he slow. And I think he might have figured that out very shortly.
I think he has as well. As he's going to look now. Will he send one? No, he's been binge watching. I know for a fact, Dan, that he's been watching all the live streams. This is why he wants to get involved, and he's been binge watching all the previous live streams. So if he's been binge watching the Pro, will he try a sooty send it in the future? He doesn't need to now, though. He's got the run on DJ Phil. He's got past DJ Phil, and that is job done for Shane, who's had a super night.
Yeah, definitely so. He's had a great night, and this is just a recovery run as DJ Phil's going to look down the inside. He's just not laying off on the brakes, and Shane will keep hold of that position. So Shane, again, very good coordination there between the two. Shane obviously seeing that DJ Phil was going to attempt it. He gave him the space for the hairpin, but DJ Phil not quite alongside enough to get the job done. So great racing between those two.
Yeah, great racing between those two indeed. The gap to these two still 3.7 seconds, and now that Bozzy Boy is going to be the back marker in the way of these two at the moment. As here comes then Little Each as well, who's 9 seconds off the back of the pair of them. Keegs has actually got that gap. It's just show you back, but he has gained a couple of tenths out of the hairpin there, Dan.
Yeah, a couple of tenths, but not a lot. He has a little wiggle there, but can't stand in a minute. Uqbar still leading this race on lap 15. Keys currently in a second place position, hunting down the Flying Dutchman, with Little Each scoring decent points, but losing out to Keys at this minute. 9 points separating them going into this round, and that points gap is going to get even more smaller. JM Grill currently once again keeping it consistent, P4 at this stage, with Smithy a much better race too in that 5th place position, but he is getting hunted down by Holty, who is carrying a time penalty and could possibly lose out to a Welshie. He's got a very good gap though over Stealth Slough, so he could possibly just lose at 1 place here. 8th place for Stealth Slough, and Shane is now on his way to try and hunt down Stealth Slough. DJ Phil in that 10th place position. That Bozzy Boy not glitching out and hitting any walls. He is currently in 11th place position, but he has got the leaders hunting him down. Dean Masocki in 12th, and Bryn going around scoring points and finishing the race is what he needs to do.
Yeah, he is. That's all he needs to do. He's just got to get to the end. Obviously, learned from last week to not retire to get to the end because it's going to hurt him. He got tied, got level of points as Lucas Roth. Big off into the wall, catching Uqbar. Now where's Little Each coming through turn 1?
The man who's been struggling all night long with turn 1, Little Each, has managed to negotiate it, and it's Keegs this time who's made the mistake in turn 1. What damage has he got, and how much is it going to affect him? Little Each, the championship contenders, are fighting it out, while Uqbar, also still a championship contender, is leading this race. JM Grill, another championship contender, constantly scoring points. He isn't too far off these guys either.
No, he's going to lose out to the championship leader, Little Each. So Uqbar will gain 10 points over Little Each, and Keegs will gain 5 at the minute before fastest laps. Uqbar then, as you can see, look, Keegs very slidey into the hairpin. Dan, this could be game on, because this could open that gap back up to over 10 points if you're Little Each, but you're running out of time.
Yeah, I think if Uqbar just doesn't make any more mistakes now, he's cleared that Bozzy Boy. He just needs to stay on track and finish this race. That's what Uqbar needs. Keeks now just needs to keep Little Each behind him. That's what he needs to do. But Little Each has the hardest job to do, and that's clear Keeks now. Lucas
Roth hasn't really binned it like that all night. Was that a case of pushing too hard to maybe catch Uqbar?
Possibly so.
As he's wide again here, Dan. Yeah, he's very wide again here, look. And this is really going to make Little Each interested now. So Lucas Roth just struggling as Uqbar's going to come around the final corner to start lap 17. Oh, Little Each now has a wiggle himself. And it to and fro's between the two of them.
Oh, you're trying to think of a new one now? You're trying to think of a new one?
No, this one's not ebbing and flowing. This one's to in and froing.
To in and froing. You just had to stick with something similar, didn't you?
Ebbing, I feel lost without saying ebbing and flowing without sweet and sticky. So we've got to come up with our own now, Dan.
I don't know if I like that one, to be honest.
Okay. We've got 4 more weeks to think of one.
I'm a bit more of a harder man to please. You know that.
Yes. Lap 17 here at Hockenheim, and it's Uqbar from Lucas Roth from Little Each at the moment in time, but Little Each all over the back of it. Look how quick Shane has caught Stealth Slough here.
Yeah, he's been chipping slowly bit by bit, and I think he was a 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds faster than Stealth Slough just on this lap alone. He's really brought that gap down. Stealth Slough just touches the curb. Can he just keep it off track? Yes, he does. And Shane is up another place. Didn't need to fight that one too hard.
Didn't need to fight that one too hard at all, and he's up into P8 then for Shane. Dean Wasaki all over the place in the background over 1 minute 55, looking at his lap times. Not quick at all tonight. And Bryn, 26 seconds off the back. If Dean keeps lapping 9 seconds a lap slower, Bryn will be on the back of him on the last lap of the race.
Will indeed. Little Leach still just not able to just do anything about Keys.
Yeah.
He kind of needs Keys to make another mistake to really attack him, but he's still within under a second. If he was an F1 car, he'd be getting DRS right now. But also, speaking of DRS, make sure you tune in on a Sunday night as the F2s will return back on track as they will be heading to the Algarve. But more importantly, tomorrow is a very special night for one of us indeed, as the pros will hit the track for the second night of racing here for the GT3s. And Mathew, what's with the...
Speaking of special night, this is the Smithy, the GOAT. This is his 100th race, this one. This one right now is the GOAT's 100th race, and he's up in P5. So what a way to have a 100th race. He's not had a great season, and the GOAT making his 100th appearance in this second race, up in P5 at the moment.
He's doing very well indeed, but it is this man who is leading the way. Ukbar with 8-second gap to Lucas Roth right now, and it is all going the way of the Flying Dutchman, and it's just what he needs in this point of the season.
It is indeed. Lucas Roth, though, lapping a tenth quicker, and look at that, 4 tenths quicker than this man. The gap's back up to 1.6, Dan. So you'd imagine that if Lucas Roth keeps it on the tarmac, he's got this one done.
Yeah, definitely so, but it's really down to Geeks now, as he braked on the exit of the corner there, so maybe he had a little wiggle, but JM Grill is still within touch of these two. He's actually lapping very similar than the guys in front of him. And Smithy, once again, solid P5 at this stage.
Yeah, P5 at this stage.
Holton's not been able to catch him here.
He's not been able to catch him, but I think Smithy needs to play this one smart now, because if he does catch him, Smithy may as well let him go and just stick to the back of him, because Holty's got that penalty. Holty's got to push hard because he's still going to lose out to Walshy here, so Holty could lose out massively. This, though, Dan, for the Pick and Mix Motorsport crew, being both ahead of Holty, it could be massive for the Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, it could definitely be massive for the Constructors. Little Leach currently not outscoring Lucas Roth now, but Smithy is outscoring Holty, so all this does count. Walshy dropping ahead of him as well. So for the Constructors, it's still massively on. It's going to be between Teletubby Motorsport and Pick and Mix Motorsport as it stands this season. Obviously, the other Teletubby boys aren't quite representing it.
Shane's pace, a 140.9 last time around. What a shame he had an incident early doors, because he'd be running with the front runners right now.
He would indeed, but sadly, with that incident earlier on, and look at this, Little Leach is there.
Oh, Keegs, massive wiggle under the brakes. Jamie said earlier, he looks like he's got his brake bias set too far back, and Lucas Roth really struggling then. He's now got Little Leach 3 tenths of a second behind him, and right up the gearbox of that Mercedes, which is just stretching its legs here and being able to pull away ever so slowly. As that might be what he needs. Oh, is it? Is that a slide? He's wide, he's deep, and this could be the invitation that Little Leach needs, and it is. He's through, and for the championship, this puts Keegs on the back seat. Little Leach now just comes in front of Lucas Roth, and Lucas Roth has to think of something to do here. Is he going to think of a send it maybe? No, Little Leach defends him, and Lucas Roth sliding into the corner, taps the back of Little Leach, lets Little Leach keep the place, but Dan, this man doing a stellar job so far, all led it from start to finish, but when he pitted, Lucas Roth, though, has got to make a move somewhere.
So far, I've had my predictions bang on tonight. Said Lucas Roth for race 1, and I said Ukbar for race 2. But it's down to the wire between these two. Ukbar into the penultimate corner now, and he is finally on his way.
He is finally on his way since the second race at Kota earlier in the season. And was that Little Leach off? It was Little Leach off. Ukbar wins the race. What a drive from him. But Lucas Roth is going to come home for the P2. And Little Leach, crucially, where is JM Grill? Lucas Roth second, JM Grill too far behind. So a pair of third places for Little Leach tonight. But my oh my, Dan, was that nerve-wracking for Little Leach at the end?
Yeah, once again, JM Grill consistently in the points again. Not quite 2 podiums in a row like he's been doing lately, but he's on the podium. Smithy with a fantastic 5th place will hang in there to stay ahead of Holty. And Holty, has he done enough to stay ahead of Walshy? He crosses the line. We will see. It's going to be very tight though, man. It depends how well Walshy does in the final sector. Walshy towards the line. Will he get that 6th place position?
No, he doesn't actually.
No.
So Holty did just do enough. Apologies there. Holty did just then do enough in the end. Shane, P8, what could have been for him maybe in this one. But nonetheless, a good night for Shane, all in all.
Yeah, definitely so. Stelsloff is going to come home for that 9th place position. And DJ Phil, last man on the lead lap, is going to come home for 10th place position. But a good night's worth of racing for the Pro-Am boys. And again, not much has been noted down in my notebook, so I'm very, very happy about that as well.
Yeah, indeed. We wait for the fastest lap then, so that could add more insult to injury. Let's get Ukbar in the chat, and we hope that Lucas Roth and Lid Leach join us as well, as the fastest lap of the race goes the way of Lucas Roth.
Keegs is on a roll here.
So 4 podiums in a row. It's not 4 race wins in a row, but it's another point to take away from Lid Leach. With 216 drivers' points up for grabs, Leon Fernie can no longer win the Drivers' Championship. He is not mathematically able to win it. As we go then into the final 4 weeks of Pro-Am, we hope that Lucas Roth, Lid Leach and Ukbar will join us in the chat for a quick word. The gap, though, Dan, Lid Leach down to 3 points ahead of Lucas Roth. So he's brought that gap down 3 points in the end. J.M. Grill is in 3rd place, 28 points off the back of Lid Leach. Ukbar in 4th, 36 points further back. Bryn losing out there massively tonight. He's 59 behind. 20, though, ahead of Welsh, who's 79 behind. He's tied with Holty for P6. Dean Wasocki loses out on the back of them two. He is 93 points behind. Smithy, P9, gains over Dean Wasocki and is only 12 points behind him. Stealth Sloth, P10 on 102. He's 3 ahead of DJ Phil Green. And Shane on 79. He gained a point over DJ Phil there, so he's 20 points behind DJ Phil. And do we have Lid Leach in?
I believe we have all 3 of them.
We do. Craig, what happened at the end there?
Trying to protect my inside line a bit too much and clip the curb.
Good race for yourself, though. A set of P3s tonight. Good to be back on the podium. It's been a while since we've had you on the podium.
Yeah, I'm happy with that from the back of the grid. I saw Lucas get up to 3rd quite quickly. I said I need to keep on the back of him.
Yeah, he made a few mistakes in this one that allowed you to have that chance at the end of that race. Did you think that P2 was on the table?
Yeah, I got a bit excited, shall we say.
We go to Bruno.
Keeks made a mistake. I made a mistake.
We go to Bruno next week. What can you do around there?
Hopefully double podium again would be nice.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, buddy. Congratulations on tonight.
Lovely, cheers.
And I'm sure Little Leach has got some Love Island to watch as he exits the party now. As we go to Lucas Roth.
Not tonight.
It's not on tonight. Taking a break. Go get yourself better, because I know you've been under the weather, buddy. Lucas Roth, though, P2 in the end for yourself, but it could have been a bit worse.
Yeah, I was looking for the win. I was catching up about every lap. I just sort of made a big mistake, to be honest, coming on the first corner. I took a bit too much curb and just lost the rear. After that, I knew I had to keep second, so I wasn't going to catch up about after that. So I was going to keep second, and then I just made a couple more mistakes and ended up in a battle with Craig.
The gap's down to 3 points between you and Little Leach. So it's definitely game on. We've 8 races left to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's been some good racing so far, so hopefully we can carry that on.
Now, in your illustrious karting career, you've got some trophies in your loft of P4 and P5. You could have a Simplay Motorsport trophy there by the end of the season. Your goal's got to be set on that championship now, surely.
Yeah, that probably is the main goal. And then I know Holtway is wanting to go for the Constructors one, so we'll go for that as well.
Well, Bruno, next week, what can we do around there?
I don't know. I'm not too keen on the track. It's not a fan of mine, but I'll give it my best.
Well, wish you the best of luck, Keegs, and we can't wait to see it next week. And Ukbar, tonight was a night that you had a chance to maybe take 2 wins, but race 1 didn't go your way. Race 2, though, was a lot better.
Yeah. The race 1 was bad, I think. And race 2 all went well. Didn't make any big mistakes. So yeah, I'm a lot more pleased with the second race as the first one.
Yeah, it looked like you had a lot more pace out there tonight compared to Silverstone Classic last week. Did the car feel a lot better this week round?
Yeah, a lot better. I just couldn't get at Silverstone Classic the car really stable in the corners. It was a bit nervous, and yeah, Hockenheim. I didn't experience that. It was just a good car.
Yeah. Now, I remember last season, race 2, you took the win from me and Emplava. This season, you've kind of done the same thing. You've took the race 2 victory again at Hockenheim. We go to Bruno. What can you do around there?
I think I think I can be can get a good race. I know Ginetta is pretty suitable for Bruno.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well,
We'll see.
we wish you the best of luck, buddy.
Yeah, thanks. A lot can happen. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, wish you the best of luck, and we can't wait to see you out there tonight. Lucas Roth takes the fans' vote for driver of the day. Dan, your final thoughts today and driver of the day.
Well, once again, Hockenheim has put on a fantastic night's worth of racing. Keith's really now taking the championship down to a little each. Can little each keep his head and make sure that the young Lucas Roth is not going to catch him out towards the end of the season. And Ukbar getting a race win after a couple of bad rounds. It's finally nice to see him back on the top of the table. And once again, JM Grill is always at the top end of the grid. Keep an eye on him because he will slowly work his way back into this championship. And a massive shout out to Shane here tonight. He's put on a fantastic performance this evening. But for me tonight, it has to be Lucas Roth, who is driver of the day. Shane, an honourable mention, but Keith has been on another level tonight.
He has indeed, excuse me. And yeah, I'm going to give my vote to Shane. I think that he's been fantastic tonight, but an honourable mention to Ukbar, Little East, JM Grill and Keegs. Smithy, on his 100th appearance, took his best result of the season with a P5. I'm sure he'll be chuffed to bits with that one. But that is all we have time for, though, tonight. Join Dan Davis and Jamie Brace here in the commentary box tomorrow night for the pros around Hockenheim. And then it's back to Algarve, Portimao, Portugal for the 3rd and 4th round of the season. In the F2s, the sprint race and the feature race will be live from 8 p.m. BST. Make sure you check that one out. And the Pro-Am will be back next week with myself and Dan at Bruno in the Czech Republic. That'll be live once again at 8 p.m. BST. From all of us, though, here at Simplay Motorsport, take care. Good night.
Good night.
Between us, yeah, I'm gonna be there for you. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up on you. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up on you.